I think I might be live. Hello, Zen friends. Welcome, welcome to your weekend. I hope you're enjoying the moments of this wonderful, wonderful flood of eclipse energy. We'll talk a little bit about that once we get into stuff. But before we get started, let's bring in some love energy. We'll use the singing bowl as usual just to let the beautiful waterfall of eternal unconditional love energy flow down into us, fill us up into our minds and our thoughts and our stories, into our emotions and our hearts, into our bodies and physical bodies, into our muscles and joints and blood and organs, all of ourselves, into our energetic body, to all of our meridians, into our chakra system, into our auric field, just filling us all up and then flowing out to the world, letting it do whatever it wants to do out there in the external world to help raise the vibration of the planet. Of course, something we can do as we're focusing on that beautiful love energy. It's also one thing that we're grateful for in this moment that immediately starts to raise our love vibration. So if we just focus sincerely on something that we're grateful for right here, right now in this moment, that raises our vibration. It puts us in this great receiving energy from the upper worlds, of course. And whatever we're grateful for can just expand and we open up that conduit to receive. So we'll do that here in a moment. If you want to join me in taking a big deep breath and come out of the future, come out of the past, come right into this moment where we have everything we need right here, right now, inside our own hearts. So you can hold your breath for as long as you like. Don't pass out, please. And here we begin. So big deep breath in. Beautiful. All right, let's bring in that energy and gratitude. Here we go. Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you so much for joining me in doing that. Just to put her up into her little shelf back here. I love that energy. Have my blinds open today. It's what, 6 o'clock here in Colorado, but it's been a very cloudy kind of day out today. So hello, everybody. Good to see everyone. Teshi and Brenda. Hey, Christina Lowe. Hello, my friend. Rocky's World. Hello. Sudeshna. Good to see you as well. Collector. Hello. Got to watch your first game. Stopping by. Hello, good to see you. Thanks for first football game, hey? All right. We'll definitely do this. See what we have going on here. All right. There's a lot of emotional energy going on in the world. We'll talk about that a little bit here in a momentito. But hello to everyone. First of all, here we go. Yeah, we got the truth coming in. Truth card flying out here. The judgment card being drawn to see things from a higher perspective. And that is for sure this eclipse energy. But before we jump into all that, we'll circle back around. But welcome, everyone. If you're new to my channel or new to these readings, hello, hello. We got a great group of Zen friends with huge hearts, great senses of humor, and as I always say, two things we can definitely use in this adventure of humanity, right? Especially with all this energy that we're feeling. Laugh, laugh, laugh as much as we can. Joy, joy, joy. Gratitude, 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 right? Definitely can help us. It's an expansive energetic. I guess we're going to talk about it right now. They keep on bringing me back to it. I'm like, just hold that thought. For if you are new to these readings, you can find out how they all work down in the description box of the video. But donations do get first priority. I do prioritize those. I step out of that to honor that energy exchange. I do dive deeper, meaning I pull more cards for those too. Free readings are generally 1 to 2 cards, but we do get the tea a bit more with donations. So if you want to make a donation, you can use the super chat at the bottom or in the description box of the video. Do have Venmo, CashApp, PayPal, and Square. And I don't have any set dollar amounts. I know everyone's finances vary, so whatever you're able to give from your heart is the perfect amount. After I'm done with each session, I do post a pinned comment listing all the readings completed by name with the timestamp next to them, so you can just click on that and go immediately. It just jumps you to your reading. So high-tech, super fun stuff. I am going to be using this Psychic Tarot Oracle by John Holland. We used the Psychic of the Heart last night, and I'm going to use this one. If you make a donation, also you get 1 fortune cookie per session. So if you make multiple donations, still get 1. But we're doing the Trust Your Vibes Oracle tonight for the fortune cookie as well. So blah 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 da 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 da. That's the skinny on the stuff there. But so back to this energy, we do have, of course, we're in eclipse season. We start to feel the eclipses 4 to 6, sometimes 8 weeks for the extra sensitives that are out here. I know some of you are that way here in our chat, so we do pick up on things way before, like a full moon, normal humans 3 to 4 days before and after. But those of you that are very sensitive to the moon and astrological and solar energies, you never really are not impacted by the moon. As soon as you're coming down from the new moon, the full moon kicks in, and then the new moon, the full moon, the new moon, the full moon. So, but you just get to ride those waves, use that emotional energy to raise your vibration up or go into the depths of feeling low vibration. And then when you're ready, you can always choose differently, right? But the solar eclipse energy or the moon eclipse energy, it's a dance between the sun and the moon, right? This Sunday, here in 2 days on the 7th, Pisces, so it's a water moon, lunar eclipse, full moon on Sunday. So big energy that takes us inward, that takes us into the depths of our emotions, and there's both the dark and the light side of the pond when it comes to Pisces energy. So we can be drawn into the shadow, into the feeling like we want to pull away, feeling the heaviness of emotional energy. But we can also swim over to the bright, sunny side of the pond and experience the warmth and the joy and the jumping out of the water and playfulness, like dolphin energy, right? So we can do either one of those. And then 2 weeks from now, we have our second Virgo new moon. We just had a Virgo new moon 2 weeks ago, but we have 2, which makes it a black moon. Whenever you have a second new moon in the same sign in a month, or before another new moon, doesn't have to be in the same month. Some people think it has to be, and that's okay. But it doesn't have to be. It can be as long as it's The new moon was this sign, and the next new moon right after is still in that sign. We get a double whammy. So it's a lunar eclipse, full moon in Pisces, with either side a new moon in Virgo energy, which is its opposite. Pisces is in the 12th house, Virgo is in the 6th house. So they're polar opposites, right? They tug at each other, one going into the dream world, the other, come on, into reality and the day to day and the tasky groundedness, right? So it's the heavens and the earth in a way. So we have that push me, pull me kind of energy. But the second one here in a couple weeks is, of course, a new moon solar eclipse in Virgo. So it's very powerful energy, a lot of ending, beginning, shifting sand, feeling maybe like a fish out of water. But we can make the most of the energy by, as much as we can raise the love vibration if we want to experience high, high, high energy, because that's what all this moon energy does, right? It's expansive. If I focus in on fear and lower vibration, I get more of that. I invite it because the universe always agrees with us unconditionally. It's like, I feel sad. It's like, okay, you want more sadness? Here you go. It's like, or I feel joy and I get that. And there's no right or wrong. There's just different emotional choices with different, of course, outcomes and experiences. So there's no judgment around it. They're just like, what would you like? I want that sour tasting drink. All right, here you go. And you drink it and you're like, you're like, right here, I'm ready for something sweet now. They're like, all right, here you go. And then we drink that, right? So whatever emotional waters we want to drink of right now, big, but it's not really just right now. It's not a cup. They're like, what you want to hear? They give you a 6-pack of it, not just one can. You get 6 cans of it. So something to just be aware of as we're in this period. If you're feeling wonky and a bit off, and feel this pull inward, that can feel like we're feeling down, but we're being pulled in. So maybe we can differentiate the difference between the emotions that are pulling us into lower vibration, and differentiate that from that feeling of being pulled inward, especially if we're an outward person, which I'm an introvert. So I'm like, yeah, this feels great. I get to go in. But I also have a stellium in Pisces, so I'm all at home with this Pisces energy. But being pulled inward, it's like, oh, yeah, that feels different too. So we can kind of look at both. So anyway, blah, blah, blah. That's just some energy to be aware of. So always watching out for all my homies here. And so let me grab the list here and we will get into things here. To see where we're at in donations. Yeah, absolutely. Helps us understand what's going on. So thank you so much. I appreciate that. Appreciate your appreciation. All right. Grab these. All right. So I think that is where we are at right now. Let me check my emails. All right, we're good here. All right. In dreams, also, of course, Pisces, very connected to the dream world. If we haven't been dreaming enough, crazy, really specific, long dreams, it's just even more so. Fun, right? All right. When we're so grateful for everything it teaches us. So up first, we do have Christina Lowe ×2. So we will go to you, and then Rocky's World will be up after that. And then Sudeshna, you'll be up after that. And then Guerrera Means War, you'll be up after that. So you've definitely been feeling the right to the intensities of the current energies. I hear you. All right. So Christine Lowe, let's grab your timestamp. You're at 1448. Right. You want to fix everything and get stuff ready here before I leave for 3 months and make sure I have all I need to take with me. And I hope I make it in my car. Lots of pressure, right? But love being around your chillins. Yeah, absolutely. Um, yeah, and so you're feeling down today, disappointed in yourself and such. Yeah, and that makes sense with all this pressure you have on yourself to have everything perfect and done. But I feel like it's good. We'll pull cards on all of this, of course, but to like um question this un extreme expectations you have on yourself about everything. Um, one of the things they're reminding me of when we had fires that came to the edge of the city several years ago. Um, it actually moved in and burnt a neighborhood, and I mean, it was like you could stand out and look, and you just saw it on the hills heading towards the city. They, of course, had all the firefighters and doing everything to keep it from coming down and just doing all that, but it did move into a neighborhood. Um, and where I was at, I was enough into town, but we were right. I mean, my condo at the time was right on this, next to this huge park in the middle of the city, which was like 100 acres. If it made it in and across the freeway, it would be headed towards that. And so we were on alert for evacuation, that be ready to evacuate if necessary. So I had 3 cats at the time. I had my cat carriers. I had one for each. So I had 3 cat carriers. I had the cat food and that. I'm like, all right. So we're all set with that. I'm like, now what do I need to take with me? And I'm like, all right, I got my computer. That was like, had all my stuff on it, and the important documents. And I looked around at everything else and I realized everything else can be replaced. This little pile of stuff in the middle of my living room for pre-evacuation is everything I really needed. And so there is this what really matters. It's like, well, I want to get things here and this and everything. It's like, what if I don't? No one's going to die over any of it, right? And I can always buy anything at Walmart or, a store nearby. If I forget something, I'm always going to be able to work with it, right? That's the biggest thing, is that I always have it. There's always, so it's allowing us to take the pressure off, right? So I feel like that's just a big awareness that can come in with that. You want to know why is this going on? So I feel like they're talking about that, and I feel like they wanted to talk about all the astrological energy. You feel everything very big. Um, so you're picking up a lot of astrological energies, the eclipses, but there's also fear. And when we have high expectations on ourselves, we do have a lot of fear around failing. But in the end, people aren't going to care. They're all cared about that their lives and themselves. They're not looking at you going, "Oh, you should have done this, you should have done that," and blah 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 blah, and blah 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 blah. They're going to be like, you know what? They're going to get along with their life and what's going on in their lives. Most humans don't pay attention to other people except to point out, look what you did wrong, so that they don't feel so bad about themselves. And then they're thinking about my life, my life, my life, right? So let's see what else Spirit has here for you. You want to be your best. What is the best? What does that mean, right? It's like when they say, make America great again. What does that mean? It's great right now in this moment, right here, right now, because I'm alive. I'm the best I can be in this moment. And that is something to realize too. Everyone always does the best they can in every single moment with what thoughts and beliefs we have, what energy we have inside us, and what in our environment that we're in. We're always doing the best we can with what we have. Um, that's the amazing thing. And from spirit standpoint, they don't have any judgment at all. They're like, "You having fun?" We're like, "Yeah," or "No," and they're like, "Is that fun for you?" So always fun stuff. All right, let's see what spirit has to say here. Yeah, you do feel very big, right? Oh, yeah. So that's great. So you give yourself time to be with your grandchild too. It's a great thing you do for yourself as well, right? So let's take a look here. What else do they want you to know about? What is this feeling from? What's going on? What's the source of these feelings? Nothing more yeah, than feelings, right? And how can you make it better, right? How can you make yourself feel better? Because it's not the outside world that isn't um, peaceful and loving and full of joy. Yeah, exactly. um, it's that's all going on inside of here, right? The stories that I'm putting to everything, and then the emotional soundtrack that's playing with the story that's behind it, right? Because the bottom of the deck, we start off with the it is the Ace of Wands, passion ignited, which the Ace of Wands is an energy of um oh, I love all these cards underneath too. We're just going to look at these, but it is about whatever I focus on grows and expands, right? If I'm focusing on just the gratitude and the love that I'm going to have being around family and this, then I get that joy that floods in. If I'm worried about what if I don't do everything right, and there is no right, there is the way it's done is always perfect for the moment. And it's like, what if I fail? Fail what? Fail who? Question those thoughts because it's all these stories that we're putting of trying to make sure we're making everyone else happy. When we're worried about everyone else's happiness and thinking we're in control of it, then that's how we feel out of control because we're not in control of that. And when we realize the only thing I can control are my stories, my emotions, my energy, the ace of wands, and um, my own actions, then we free ourselves from being responsible for everyone else and also free everyone else um, having that feeling like everyone else is responsible for my happiness. When we let go of it all and we come back to what we can control, there's this feeling of peace that comes around it, right? So I like that they're saying, all the energy, whatever you focus on, is what you're drawing in. And so if we get to the root of, am I focusing on my fears? That's why I'm getting emotions and situations and things that match it. If I'm focusing on unconditional love and joy and laughter and peace and gratitude, I get experiences that match that. There's no right or wrong, just they definitely feel differently, right? One feels lower, feels tighter, feels like gravity is 10 times heavier. The other one feels like freedom. It feels like growth and expansiveness. The other one feels like limitation, trapped feelings, right? You also have some beautiful energies going on. I love this deck because they bring in the heart chakra and the sacral chakra. So sacral chakra is the energy of you in relationship to one other person, and the love, the heart chakra, the flowing of love. So there is this, you know, energy of just be aware of what conditions you feel others have on their love towards you, and be okay with if they do or not, because you can't control that, but you can focus on your self love. And every relationship you have in the outside world is a reflection of your self love, right? Let's see what else they want you to know here. Yeah, you got the throat chakra. Wow, you got all your chakra system seems to be a lot of energy flowing through it. This is about feeling like I can't act my truth or speak my truth. It's I'm trying to fit into everyone else's truths, right? Yeah, you got the Tower card here, this disruption, which this is where this energy is coming from. And I do feel like it feels like your inner tower is disrupted, meaning chakras out of balance, and your energy has gone into fear of things being removed out of your life, fear of not, um, ultimately, it's a fear of rejection that comes in, right? Because we fear if we don't meet up to everything that we're going to get rejected. We're not going to be good enough. If we're not good enough, people are not going to love us. They're not going to want us around. We're going to be alone, right? That's the spiral that happens with all of this, right? So what else we got here? Yeah, you got the Eight of Wands, positive move forward. This is flowing energy. Yeah, and the universe. I like it. The World card. It's an end of an old cycle, the beginning of a new adventure. But this does say that there's this flood of energy that's coming in, both astrologically, but also this expectations of what needs to be done instead of just enjoying it for what it is, right? Enjoying your adventure for what it is. Yeah, you got the Seven of Wands, but have this red is the Eight of Swords. Nope, that's Eight of Pentacles. I'm sorry. I'm getting used to all the colors in here. They don't have the actual suit on here. But red is Pentacles. That is Pentacles. It's putting in the blood, the sweat, the tears, it's transformative energy, which both the universe card being the last card of the major arcana and the Eight of um, Pentacles is about endings and beginnings, transforming. And I like this letting go of things because this is the Seven of Wands, about standing your ground and being true to yourself and going, I don't have to shrink myself. I don't need to ask permission to shine. I don't need to defend my actions. I guess I get to just shine, and people just get to do with what they're going to do with all that. Some people love being out in the sun. Other people are like, let me put on my big hat and sunglasses and, pour and slather, sun protection on me. Or I'm going to go inside and go down into the cellar where it's dark, and that's okay. You don't need to worry about what people think about who you are. It's your job just to shine bright and be yourself and let everyone else deal with it. If they get upset, that's happening inside of them. They could also have chosen to be very happy about something, but that's their journey, not ours, right? When we let go of responsibility for other people's emotional, mental story choices, energetic choices, physical actions, it's like there's freedom that comes in that for you and for everyone else, because you're just allowing them to shine and be themselves, and you're allowing yourself to shine and be yourself too, right? How you can fix all this? We do have, let's see, the Seven of Swords. Here's the deception and envy. The Seven of Swords is becoming aware of our own stories, our own thoughts and beliefs and mindsets that do cheat us out of opportunities of experiencing great joy because we're so freaking out, right, about making sure everything is that we don't get to enjoy the journey of, I'm so excited, for it. It's like we're um, hyper vigilant in the adventure when we realize, you know what? I used to freak out about whenever I went on trips somewhere, going, "Oh my God, what if I forget something? What if I forget something?" And I forget who I was going with. They're like, it was someone who wasn't a big planner. They're like, if we get there and we forgot something, we can just buy it, or the hotel will have it. And I'm like, well, way to take all the stress out of it. And it's true. It's like, what am I afraid that I'll forget? What if this? What if that? What if this? I just start making lists. And if I forget something, I'm like, half the time when I packed everything, I only used like a tenth of it anyway. Let's see what else we have here. Yeah, we got the Hermit card. And here's that Virgo energy too. And the victory and success, the Six of Wands. Yeah, the victory, the balanced energy. There is this embrace the Virgo stabilizing energy as well, and take care of you. Just focus on carry the water, chop the wood, just do the stuff, right? Yeah. And that's fine, you know? I don't wanna work I don't wanna make more work for them. If you forget, it's not like because you did it on purpose, you know? So it's, um it's fear of letting people down, right? So when you get back to that worrying about what if I was just doing this with my host. She sent me a meme. It was a funny meme on Instagram about I don't want to choose. I don't want to choose. I don't want to choose about choosing. I don't want to, And when we when I got down to because there's something in it that um it kind of started to feel defensive on the inside about people forcing me to choose between things when I don't want to be. I felt like I was being set up, right? There was like memories that were coming up of people going, "Here, I got the like, let's say I got these two kinds of ice cream. Which one do you want?" And I'm like, "Well, what do you want?" Because I don't want to choose one if one's your favorite. They're like, "I don't care. You choose. You choose." And I'm like, "But I don't want to choose the wrong one and choose the one that you would like." And they're like, "I'm fine either way. You choose what you're wanting." And I'm like, "Well, is there one that you prefer?" It was like, remember Chip and Dale, the little chipmunks in the story? No, after you, no, after you, no, after you is like it gets to where it was a joyful thing that's turning into a frustrating thing. Instead, it's like just if someone offers you and goes, "Here, which one would you like?" You're like, "Oh, I want this one," but not worrying about this and that and this and that. Um, and you're just do what you can, and if something is forgotten or whatever, they're going to take care of it. If they get mad about it, just bring them back a gift from California or whatever, and just go, "I'm sorry, it was not my intention and I didn't want to create more work for you, but I love you." Don't let it be a judgment of your worth, because your worth never changes. It's just our perception of our worth is what, the issue is, right? So it's underneath here too. Yeah, you got the Nine of Pentacles. Again, this energy of being coming back to you, and the Emperor too, the authority. So it's about all the stuff, this fear of letting people down energy is very rampant in here, which is normal for all of us, until we realize, you know, there are things in our life that people haven't done, and we're okay with that. If they created more work for us, then it was for us, and if there's something that creates more work for your grandma or your mom, then that's for them. There's a reason why it happens. You're always doing your best, and I feel like that's an important thing to remember. You're always doing your best, and when we freak out about impacting other people, then that's where our we lose our joy, and we shrink, and we're caged, and our fears start sucking the feeling of living out of us, and we feel like we're a slave to expectations. So I feel like it's an important time to let go of all these supposed to be, should be, need to be, have to be, and going, I'm going to do my best, and my best is my best. And if it's not good enough for other people, oh well, you know. My first relationship, um, I came from a family that was very, you know, um, everything has its place, clean up after yourself, do this, all these supposed to's and these rules. And in my first relationship, they had gotten out of the military and they were tired of rules. And so there was plates I would find next to the couch against the wall with the cup stuck to the plate, and I'm like, "Is it too much just to put it in the sink even?" And, they wanted to go to movies, they wanna go to this and that. I go, "We gotta vacuum, we gotta do laundry, we got stuff to do." I was all about work, 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 and if there's any time left over, which there usually wasn't, it's time for fun. They were all fun, fun, fun. If there's time left over, then do the work. Well, we were able to bring each other to this place of they were like, "If you want all this stuff done, then do it yourself, because I don't wanna do it." And I realized, well, not everyone thinks the same. Not everyone has the same desires. But if and I was like, "Yeah." So they were like, "Hey, let's go see a movie." And I go, "I'd love to. Um, before we go though, I need to vacuum and I need to um fold this laundry and throw the other ones in the dryer." And they were like, "I'll vacuum and then you can do that. And that way we can make that one." I'm like, "That sounds good, right?" Yeah. So it's unexpected too, right? So it's all about taking the stress of supposed to be's away. I feel like is a huge piece here. Let's see what your fortune cookie is, and then we'll go on to your second question here. Yeah. Quiet, please. Quiet the noise in your head. Let's see what this brings in here. Right now, your spirit needs quiet downtime so you can reconnect to your authentic self and receive inner guidance. The noise and distraction of the outer world can be challenging to cut through. If so, retreat into the soothing sanctuary of calm, quiet silence. You even got hermit energy of stepping away from everything and make sure you have your alone time to ground yourself, right? Meditate, listen to soft music, journal, avoid the crowd, and go within. The more quiet time you allow yourself, the clearer your next steps will be. And that makes sense because when we're in fear and we're freaking out, we're out of our intelligent mind and we're having trouble focusing. We're in reaction mode and not in that other, right? Yeah. So I feel like that's the important thing with that. All right. So that's your fortune cookie. Let's look at your second question here too. And thank you for your multiple donations. This one gives me the ability to love and like, so I'll do that there. When will you make friends? You're so lonely. All right, let's take a look here. Shuffle this up here. This little bump, bump, bump. All right. Distracted. I got distracted. Let's see what we have here. So, what does Spirit want you to know here about friendships here? I know you mean in the physical world, because of course you always have us here, but otherwise it'd be like, what are we, chop liver? But I know you want like a certain type of friendship, more interactions in the physical world, right? Bottom of the deck, you do have the Four of Cups, disconnect and boredom, boredom of relationships here, right? You even have the Three of Cups underneath, which does show that's friend group, and your of course you got your spiritual posse. But so that is an energy rolling under here. It does tell us with that Four of Cups, it's about finding our self-love. Because we've got usually with the Four of Cups, it's someone leaning up against a tree. There's three cups that they're bored with, but here comes the Ace of Cups, which is offering us and bringing focus to our self-love, and then that draws in relationships that match that. Feel like we've let old relationships go because they're not matching your energy anymore, and so you're moving into a place of that you will draw in people that match your inner energy, but there is this focus on raising your self-love, and um, and they've kind of slowed down. It's like almost like feeling like you're in solitary confinement because I'm feeling like people were moved out of your path, and you know, because your energy is changing, they don't match you anymore, and they don't want you to draw in people like that anymore, like your soul didn't want that. So you've been given the time to raise your self-love vibration to draw in um more from the outside world. I mean, someone that people who match that higher vibration, instead of drawing in people that match. If I feel low about myself, I'm going to draw in people that reflect that to me, right? But it's about giving you time to raise the self-love, right? Yeah, you've got the 8 of cups, yeah. With the transformation. So here's the death and rebirth, moving from a caterpillar to a butterfly. It's you're changing, you're in this transformation. So you're kind of in that cocoon middle range where you're let go of the caterpillars, you're in this cocoon. Then when you step out of the cocoon as the butterfly, then you're going to go to butterfly places and you'll have butterfly friends. The 8 of cups is that energy of leaving behind emotions and relationships that don't serve you anymore, to move into something that's more matching your energy. So it definitely is this transformative energy. Just realize it's happening for you, but it's giving you the space to go inward and upward and really question how I feel about myself. Because when I'm around a lot of people, we tend to define ourselves by how other people are feeling toward us. And that's the low vibration retail price. That's not self-worth, that's retail. What am I worth to other people, right? Instead of my self-worth is inward and upward. My higher self, I get to define myself by that, which is I am precious and priceless. Out there, we end up in the clearance rack, right? So it's about inward and upward, finding our self-love. Then we fill up with that love. I don't need other people's love, right? So if I feel lonely, it's because I'm looking for my love out there instead of in here, right? Um, so because I can be alone and not feel lonely, but I can be in a crowd and feel alone as well, right? Lonely. Yeah, you feel so different, right? So it is a change. It is happening for you when you realize, I mean, of course, you're surrounded by a great multitude of spirit beings. We're like, but I want someone in the physical world. It's like, well, that's unstable humans. So if you're looking for your emotional fulfillment from them, it's going to be rocky and unstable. You're going to experience a lot of instability and disappointment till you turn inward and upward, and then you're filling up with that. Then the outside world, people's actions turn from lacking to above and beyond extra. It becomes an abundant where all these people are amazing. Whereas when we're looking in the mirror and we don't feel very good about ourselves, we're going to see all of that reflected back to us, right? The unworthiness of friendship and all that kind of fun stuff. Let's see what else they got here for you. Yeah, you've got the 2 of wands, which is the waiting game. The 2 of wands also is this: wherever I focus my energies, what grows and expands, right? So if I focus in that I'm alone, there's no one around, I'm by myself, if I'm focusing on that, what am I telling the universe? I really like that. Can I have more of that, right? And when I start focusing on what I'm grateful for in my own relationship with myself, the relationships I do have, friends, family, lovers, whoever, of the past, what have I loved about this individual? You don't have to love the entire and be grateful about everything around someone. Just, I liked that thing about them. I'm really grateful that I was able to experience that with them. I was really grateful I was able to experience that, because we're giving the creator the list of what we'd like to be drawn in when we're focusing on that. That's what the 2 of wands says. Yeah, and here's that again coming up into this reading as well. You have the 7 of swords, which is deception. How am I deceiving myself with my thoughts? The stories that I'm putting onto everything, I'm choosing that. Yeah, we're given a lot of growing up, right? That's supposed to be like, when that happens, that's what that's supposed to mean. When that happens, that's what that's supposed to mean. This is what all this means about me and the world and everyone else. But that's just opinion, that's just suggestions. We don't have to take that on. I get to choose the story. And whatever stories I'm focusing on with my mind is what uh, spirit and our energy draws toward us to prove that, to back that up, right? So if I have a belief that, let's say, um, people always end up abandoning me, because that's a belief I used to have, because we moved a lot and all my friends would never keep in touch, and I felt abandoned by family and friends and whoever. And when I had that belief, you know what? Order up comes right in. Right? Yeah. Yeah, yeah, and that is our the devil we know, comfort, right? But it doesn't mean that's healthiest for us, right? So I get that. Um, but that's the great thing, is that you're not who you were back whenever. So you when you made the choices you did when you did, had different thoughts, you had different energy, you had a different environment. Now, if you face those things, you'd be like, I mean, just that you're aware that I don't want to trip backwards, is I'm aware that that's not what I want. Whereas before, you're just like, oh, I want that. Now you're like, I might be drawn to that, but I know that's not what I want for me. So you would think of things differently. But again, I fear I'm going to choose. Guess what? I draw those opportunities to trip into that, instead of focusing on all the things I love about, individuals and things in my life, right? So that's that. This is the little noodle that's between our ears, is the story maker. When we change our story, the world we see also changes. And you've got the 8 of Wands. Yeah, here's positive move forward. So here it's jumping in the boat and headed off in your own direction. That's coming in here. There's this, um, the energy flow, and trust the flow, trust where the wind is taking you. Don't feel like you have to control, like you can't control the wind. You can control your sail, though. So you can't control the outside world, but you can control how you adjust your sails to it. And that determines the outcome, how you choose to gear those, right? So I feel like that is what they want us to know. I feel like we went deep into a lot of this stuff, but I feel like this is for all of us right now, right? I know I learned so much in hearing all of that, but we did go deep. So thank you again for your donations. I greatly appreciate those, and hang in there, my dear, and come back and watch this as much as you need to, as well. If you need reminders, right? It's free to come back. You just and you'll have timestamps, um, as well, when we once I finish the session. It'll be in the pinned comment as well. So many blessings. Much love to you, my friend. Enjoy your little grandbaby, your newest grandbaby to the family. I love it. All righty. So let us continue here. Yay! Rocky's World, you are up. Let's grab your timestamp here. Boom, boom, boom. Thanks for all of you guys' patience and getting to your readings. I know sometimes Spirit gets chatty and I'm like, oh my gosh, it's been 40 minutes. Where did it go? All right. Well, let's give your donation a love and a like here. And he says, it's miraculous. I can't wait to read it here. So there was something that happened on your trip just recently. Your question is, did Michael J. Spirit really enter the room through you, so much that everyone that was in the room felt things and began to cry? Oh my gosh. That is a supernatural, miraculous kind of energy. Let's find out. Is it Michael J. or just your superpower? All right, let me take a quick sip here. Cheers, everybody. I didn't cheers you yet. All right, let's take a look here. So, was that you, Michael J., that came through there? And what was this about? Boom, boom, boom. And those under the surface. All right. Wow. Bottom of the deck, you got the crown chakra. So, and you have the base chakra. Wow. You had this from the bottom to the top, your chakras. And maybe it was both. We'll find out more here, but I feel like with this coming in, this has to do here. You even have the Ace of Cups on the bottom, which is your self-love filling up and flowing out. So it had a lot to do with your alignment, like your inner spiritual and energetic alignment. You were just in this, in fact, my hair is starting to stand up because it just feels like you were in this perfect place inside where all of your chakras, from your root chakra to your crown chakra, you were rooted and you were connected, and you were the perfect vessel for energy to come through as well, right? And you're just like in this space. Maybe you were in a place of joy, or just in this place of gratitude, whatever it was. I mean, you just maybe you were just empty and not even thinking about something, so you were open. But it was very much this conduit. Let's see what he says here too. Yeah, I figured the star card has a lot to do with you. The star card here is that energy and your sacral chakra, which is your relationship to others, how we relate and interact with others. So you were this giant spark, and I feel like they're saying it was mainly you. It was mainly your energy that was doing this. And even though it felt random to your human, there was a lot that was going on, I feel, below the surface and your higher self, because the star card represents that's you, that's your higher self, that's bouncing up there. They are also the water bearer that brings in, and because it's Aquarius energy, so it's about community, and that makes sense with this. The sacral chakra is all about our relationship with others. Very Aquarian, Age of Aquarius energy, right? Feeling emotion for a group, and just almost like being triggered and activated by all the energy that you were picking up. It created this spark within you, in your sacral chakra, it feels like, because that's where this, spark is coming in here. And so it flew out. It's like a EMP, a pulse. Let's see what else they wanted you to know here. Yep, Four of Wands, a joyful celebration with the Four of Wands energy here. Yeah, we'll see here. We got more cards, but there's this joy of the event. It was a joyful gathering, it feels like. Yeah, Six of Cups. Or not Six of Cups, sorry. The Six of the Lovers card, harmony. So I feel like it was this, and I feel like this is like you and them. There's this, sorry for the glare there, the joining together, hand in hand, the energy that came through. Yeah, but Ace of Wands energy. Again, this is like, here's that electrical pulse that came through. But I feel like they're like, I feel it's like your connection to Michael, like your connection with them, this love energy that you have within you for them, it just ignited and it just sent out like that electrical pulse. I mean, look at that. That's literally what I was kind of thinking. It's like boom, and it just moved out and it flooded, because you can't choose other people's emotional responses, right? But that energy that went out with so much love that they felt that, it's almost like this, everyone got a little, just a drop of the eternal unconditional love energy of the higher realms that just kind of, and that does bring us to tears of joy. Though it does something within us. It's like a relief. For some people, they cry and sob because it's such a, they've been holding things in for so long, and it's like a feeling like a hug from the universe. It just allows that love to flow out, right? And just, let's see, I have two cards underneath the surface here too. um yep, Six of Swords, which is letting go of old ways of thinking, seeing things from a higher perspective. It's a very a mental flow energy. Yeah, and even the uh justice. No. Justice? Yeah, it's the justice card. I always get justice and judgment because of the J's. Oh, Michael J. That's it. You had to do it. Yeah, that's right. Don't mix up the J's. Boom. But there is this balancing energy, of course, 11, that is about seeing things from a higher perspective, moves lower vibrational thinking away. And so there was this mental movement, this change of story within people too that came through the energy here. But I just feel like there was this wonderful connection between the upper and lower worlds. But you were the conduit, so it was both of you. But they're saying it was mainly you. They're like you were the conduit. You never channeled anything like that before, I know, but it had to do with that love, the inner self-love, I feel, um, is something that you've been opening up more and more to, so, I love that. It's just like you were moved by the energy that you were picking up from other people, and, it just allowed it to flow out. So I love that. But I love that lover's card too because it is that the care and emotional connection that you had is what allowed it to, you know, spark within you too. So I like that. Let's see what your fortune cookie brings in here. See what else they want you to know here. But I love that. Wow. Zoom, zoom, zoom. All right. I do want this one. Let's see what we got here. Let your higher self lead. Look, and it's like there's this look at the glow sorry, not don't mean to flip you off. The glowingness around you. Look all the energy and the stars. So that's, your higher self is going, this was a lot of you. Um and I like that really realizing the power you have to push out this beautiful love energy that makes it easier for people to choose higher or lower vibration, but in this case, higher vibration, right? Says you are encouraged to put your ego aside and allow your higher self to take over. Stop trying to figure things out and place your confidence in your inner guidance. Your higher self will guide you forward if you allow it to. Find this connection in your heart and surrender to your greater divine spirit. Next, invite your higher self to physically move you towards your highest good. This includes moving your thoughts, your words, your emotions, and body in unison with your best outcome. Be flexible and spontaneous and don't overthink. Trust your higher self to keep you safe and gracefully lead you to the best outcome for all concerned. You'll soon be on your way. You got to leave Thug Rocky behind. You don't have to be, you know, but it is about following and allowing your higher self more. And I feel like this is what was just a taste of that for you there. But can you see all that magic, all those stars in there? It's like they're like, so it's allowing that beautiful love energy to flow more and more and more often. You can if you want, but it's like your higher self going, that was us. That was, yeah, they're part of your posse, Michael J is, but this was you. So I love that. Wow. Boom. Who knew? We knew. Yeah. Yeah. They were like, part of the spark, within your heart that helped, along with your whole spiritual posse, the love that they all give you was part of all that. So I love that. How fun. Thank you for sharing that. I love it. And of course, thank you for your donation as well. Greatly appreciate that. All right. So thank you guys so much here. Let me see here, check some timestamps. And all right. let you guys know where we're at on donations. All right. So we have Sudesh up next, and then Guerrero means war, and then Flo will be up after that, and then Alice, and then via the PayPal we have Maria P. So that's where we're at. You're very welcome, Rocky. Good to see you. All right, Sudeshna, let's grab your timestamp here. Oops. Here we go. So thank you for your donation. Oops, come on. There it goes. Give that a love and a like since it lets me. Hello. All right. So Sudeshna, today you're going for the outing. Oh, that's right, with your college mates, right? We had a clash with your friends yesterday. Can you check the energies? How will everything be, or what can happen? All right. So let's take a look here. Overall energies of the friends. If you go in there, all right, we got that one. And then how will everything be based on current energies? Okay, got that here. And then what can happen, right? What are the possibilities? Right. Try that again. There we go. We do want this one, and these two. Okay. Yeah, well, this is energy that come in, and it makes sense that there's a lot of, volatile energy that's going on there. It's this, the eclipse energy. We have a Pisces full moon coming up on Sunday, right? So there is, every emotion is felt big. And so if people are feeling big, happy emotions, there's a lot of great happiness. But if someone feels low vibration and someone else is low vibration, there can be, right? Well, the bottom of the deck, we do have the Seven of Swords, which is deception and envy. Seven of Swords is about our mindsets and our stories. What if my own mindsets and expectations cheat me out of opportunities, right? So it's a good thing to be aware of that everyone has a different way of how they think everything should go and should be supposed to be. And if we're looking at things differently, that's where, you know, like you said, you had clash, right? That's when we clash, is when my expectations differ from your expectations. And then we both try to defend our expectations, trying to force each other to accept our expectations as the right thing, because obviously the way we think is the right way. But when they don't, that's when we disagree with each other, right? So it's about what matters the most, that I win or that I have great relationships. Because if I get stubborn in my how I want to think, most humans do, we're going to end up escalating. I learned that in customer service. If they're demanding and I am resistant to their demanding and I demand them to be the way I want them to be, all that does is escalate and people get upset. But when I yield for a moment and try to see things from someone else's perspective and question, why is it so important that they do it my way? Because some people just don't want that, right? And it's okay. We can just let them be, right? All right, let's take a look here. Energy, right? Oops, I moved. Oh, no, it's right here. So check the energies based on right now. Yeah, you've got the High Priestess energy here, which is an energy of, I think you got this when we asked about this before, but I think that was for Sunday. It's going to be, and this makes sense. This big Pisces. Oh, it's big Pisces moon energy. So I feel like they're saying it's going to change from moment to moment based on what everyone is focusing on. This is the eclipse energy is big. It's expanding all of this energy. So be aware of where it's all coming from, that people are, it's like around a full moon. It's a full moon in Pisces, water moon, lunar eclipse. So a lot of whatever emotions people are feeling. If I'm feeling a little grr, it's going to be roar, not purr, right? And if I'm feeling really good, like how I'm purring, if you ever have a cat that it's quiet and they're purring, you can hear it across the room. That's how joy is, or growling at each other. So just know that there's going to be a lot of different energies, and whatever energy you focus on is what you're going to put out and experience. So if you go in with fear and resentment or revenge plots, right? It's going to bring a lot of that back to you. But whatever you focus your energy on is how it's going to be your experience. Everyone else will have their own choices, right? How will everything be? Yeah, we've got temperance. Just have patience and temperance. I like all this two major arcana because it really is powerful. It's like you learn that if I understand people are very energy's very volatile or very exaggerated. It's like if there's a microphone that's turned up really high and if you whisper, it's very loud. Well, you're not going to yell in it because that's just going to make it overwhelming, right? So if you know it's a sensitive environment, whisper and then everything, and have patience with everyone's energy, going, it's okay. I can have temperament with everyone, understanding the energy that's going on around, right? Um, what can happen here? Yeah, you got the Six of Cups, memories of love. It can be a very equal giving and receiving emotional time, or we can have the Eight of Swords where we're trapped in our fears, right? So it's the two extremes. I can either have a loving time because I'm focusing on loving, or I can have a very conflicting time because I'm focusing on my fears. And these stories are making me feel blinded and bound and trapped and restricted instead of, you know what? Their opinions of me don't mean anything about me. It's telling me how they feel about themselves. But my opinions, how I think of everyone else, is telling me about me. It's kind of coming back to you. Allow yourself to enjoy everyone and have love there. Or so it's choice. What can happen is in your hands. Your experience of what can happen is in your hands. You can't control everyone else's experience. Under the surface here, yeah, you got Two of Cups. So it's a individual relationships are important, yeah, but you have the solar plexus energy, which is your relationship to yourself. And with these coming out together, it tells you that your interactions with other people are a reflection of how you feel about yourself. So I feel like it's a very amazing opportunity. Even have the Two of Wands. Whatever you focus your energy on is what you get to experience, higher or lower. You even got the Two of Pentacles underneath, which is you get to choose the doors that you're going to walk through. You can't choose it for anyone else, but you get to choose for you. So go in with it and just, if you feel you have to, not have to, right? If you feel you want to, apologize to anyone just because you said something that you didn't mean to say. To say I'm freaking out. I think it's this lunar eclipse. I was like so on edge, but I'm going to choose love and laugh about it if you can, right? Let's see what your fortune cookie brings in for this as well. All right, let's top one here. You got expect the best. Yeah, card number 22, which is a power number. Realize your power. Here's those twos, the power of choice. If you have, there was this, was it probably an Instagram meme, since that's mainly where I look at memes, but it was something about, what was it said? It takes the same amount of energy to worry about worst outcomes. Why not invest all that energy and focus on all the possible best outcomes? Expect the best. Like, what if I focus on what are the best things that could happen instead of what's the worst thing that could happen, right? It's like use our energy. If we're going to use our energy, it's going to take the same amount. Instead of on worry, let's focus on the great things, what I love about what I've experienced in the past, etc. Right? It says, release your fears and anxieties. The universe loves you unconditionally and is working to bring you the best possible experiences. However, sometimes the best experience is not the one you're presently hoping for. Share your desires with the universe, then ask for this or better, right? The universe knows what you need better than you do now and is working to fulfill your desire in ways you are not yet aware of. Ooh. Trust the universe. It will not let you down. Expect the best and be open to discovering what that is. Ooh, how fun. So I love that message for you. So that's what they have for you, Sudeshna. So many blessings to you. Thank you again for your donation. Right, Guerrera means war. You are up. We are almost to 111.11. You're 111.05. Look at that. At least on my screen here. So thank you for your donation. Let's give that a love and a like. Hello, my friend. I am well. So what's in store for you career-wise for the next month or so? Absolutely. Let's take a quick sip there. And so you've been feeling all that intense energy, which the eclipse season is a good time for endings and beginnings. So that's good energy coming in for like newness. And we're all out of our retrogrades of our personal planets, Mars, Venus, and Mercury. So that is good energy of starting new things too that last a long time. So I like that. Okay. One of those and those. That was interesting how they had me choose those. I was like, what are you doing? All right. What I feel like. Okay. I feel like this leads to that. There we go. Let's see what we have here. So scooch these cards over. It's like there's a movement of perspectives here with that movement of cards here. Bottom of the deck. I love it. You got temptation, but this is the devil card. It's Saturn and Capricorn energy, which Capricorn rolls over the 10th house of work. So I like this, but it is an energy of letting go of old ways of thinking, long held beliefs around things as well, right? Hello, hello. You've been seeing 111 everywhere too. How funny. Funny enough, good signs. It's 11's our card of, or a number of seeing things from a higher perspective, expansion kind of energy too. So I like that. All right, let's see here. What else we have here? Yeah, you've got the Two of Cups energy coming in here. Let's see what this is next to it too. Yeah, the Truth, the Judgment card. Another two. So, well, it adds up to two. Sorry, I'm falling off my chair. I'm so excited in anticipation, like on the edge of my seat. But there is this, the Two of Cups is following your heart in a way. And that's what the Judgment, the Truth card is what is my truth, right? Along with all the other number cohorts. You're funny. Yeah, the twos, right? Here's two and choice. But it is going to be like you have emotional choice here coming up in regards to jobs and career. It's like following the mind, doing what it always wanted to do, but following the heart. That's what will bring us, like the joy and feeling like we're living and like we're not existing going on there, right? So, yeah, and I feel like they want me to close the blinds now, even though, well, it's getting dark out, but it's like it's close our eyes and open our heart. Yeah. So I like that. It's important here not to look where the mind's telling you to look, but look where your heart is telling you to look, because your heart is drawing you somewhere. Let's see what else we got here. You got the Prosperity Begins with the Ace of Pentacles. So there is definitely opportunity that's opening up here. And you have the this is the Nine of Wands. Wow, spiritual strength. So again, it's like listening to your higher self coming in here, right? Um, you've been super anxious to leave for better work pastures. Yeah. So, the 9 of wands is like the block that's been there, but knowing there's an opportunity and that your heart is drawing you somewhere else, it's kind of like that letting go and letting allowing you're the one that's blocking yourself from moving forward, right? That anxiousness is fear. What are we fearing? It's just work. It's just a job. I'm just gonna find. It's not like you're signing up for the military, where you're gonna contractually have to be with them or go AWOL and disappear and be on the run the rest of your life. If you don't like a job, you can quit it. At least these days, in life, we can, and we can find something else, right? Say, hey, Debbie, love and light to you too. So I like this, that there is abundance waiting for you, but you're the only one that's holding yourself back. You got the 6 of Cups, memories of love. There is this fadedness with this, but there's a lot of, again, this balance of emotional energy. It's almost like this energy of returning to a childhood dream of, this is what I want to be when I grow up. You know how, like, before people start telling us how stupid our dreams are and unreasonable, and think of something better, instead of like, I want to be an astronaut. And they're like, ugh, you'll never be able to do that. There's so many people that want that. Think of something else. And we're like, oh, we're taught to not believe in our dreams. This is like believe in your dreams again energy. Underneath that, you do have the 9 of Pentacles, which is independence and abundance and fulfillment. I like that energy with all these 9s that you're coming in, because it is a card. Well, it's Virgo energy, which we're in the middle of Virgo season right now. In between 2 new moons in Virgo, almost like right in smack in the middle, this Sunday, right in the middle of the eclipse. It's a big harvest kind of energy that comes in. Again, following our dreams, we can be independent and we can have abundance through following our dreams, even though we're told you can do that as a hobby. You'll never be able to do that as your career. That's a belief of adults, but it's time for us to return to our childness, right? Right. Yeah. Right. We all have heard that. And then we were taught to say that to children too. That's cute, but maybe you want to be an accountant. That was mine. Be an accountant. All right. I'll be an accountant, until I took accounting class, and I'm like, though I love the balancing aspect of it, my Aquarius sun brain and my Capricorn rising brain, but all of my water Pisces stellium and water grand trines and kite and all the stuff in my chart all point me to spiritual pursuits. Let's see. Yeah, we have here's the 8 of Swords here. Yeah, oh, you're Aquarius too. Hey, there you go. I get it. But it's trapped in fear. Here's like stuck in a job that we don't want to do. But I love the 8 of Swords, because it's a flow energy of becoming aware of my own thoughts and beliefs and mindsets that have been making me feel, blinded and bound and trapped and restricted and small, and all the stories of I can't do that. And it's like, wow, when we allow ourselves that rebel Aquarian energy of anything's possible. The old ways don't work anymore. I need new ways. Um, it's the being the rebel, being the pioneer, ready to do things differently, because one, we like being weird and different and strange. It's a compliment. People go, "You're weird." Oh, thank you. I love it. I don't want to be normal. I want to be unique, and that's the energy. Do things uniquely yourself, right? Yeah. And then you have underneath that the 8 of Swords. You do have the Justice card here, which is balance, but here's that 11. Here we go. It's about, they usually have the scales, right? And it's about seeing things from that higher perspective, from capital T truths that allow us to cut away the old beliefs that don't serve us anymore, those small T truths that were rooted in fears, right? So it helps us cut away those things and allows us to take things off of that side of the scale and actually turn it into like spiritual truths, higher truths. We're able to put it on that scale to balance out the scales and allow us to move forward. So I do feel here, follow your heart. It's not going to lead you in the wrong direction. Um, but this is a time of like, with the truth card, here's the capital T truth here. Limited editions. I love that. And, but it is about like following our calling, following our heart, that when things become uh, so uncomfortable, the way I look at it is like fear is what holds us back from going forward, right? And as long as our fears outweigh the ugly feeling of us not being true to ourselves, we won't act. But eventually, that ugly feeling of not being true to ourselves, it becomes so much, it outweighs our fears. And that's when we take action, right? That's when I'm, it's not, I got to do something. I can't stand it anymore. That's what I did in 2020. I had been in corporate life for a very long time, and I had left once to pursue a spiritual career, but I wasn't ready yet. I got my foot wet and then went back in for another 4 or 5 years into corporate life. But it gets to the point, and it was when the plague was hitting, and I was asking myself, what am I waiting for to live my dream to die? And it was like, if I have to review one more auto insurance policy, because I was in customer service of auto insurance company, and I'm like, if I have to review one more policy, I'm going to poke my eye out. And so I knew it was time. I couldn't stand it anymore. I'm like, I'm selling my truck. A friend of mine, before this, my host here, she had bought a house and said, hey, you want to come be my roommate for a little bit? And I did for about a year and a year and a half. And then my host here said, why don't you come live in my basement for free? You have a message to give, and that's my gift to the world. And I'm like, what? I wouldn't have thought, I'd be able to have that kind of situation, but the, spirit did that, right? Oh my gosh. Look, work together. Here's all about work, but don't limit the possibilities either, right? But when you're ready, you're ready. Your goals and priorities can be achieved, but not alone. Now is the time to reach out to like minded, equally talented people and form partnerships. Align internally with your spirit first. Are you clearly focused and committed to your goals? Are you willing to assume responsibility for your choices and actions? Are you aligned with your spirit? Once you align with your authentic self, reliable others who share the same vibration will help. You will benefit from others' suggestions and, with their help, quickly advance towards your goals. Above all, enjoy collaborating with creative others. You will discover it is far more fun and rewarding to work with kindred spirits than to work alone. Let the universe and the people around you make your life easier. Wow. You can't make that up. So work together. So, I feel like you will meet people that will maybe point you towards a new position as well. But never doubt it. And that's exactly what I was talking about, right? I was trying to do it all on my own and trying to do all this, but now I've ended up in, this wonderful place of gratitude where it's a win-win, with the situation that we're in, and I'm like, wow, You just never know. Beautiful. I love this for you. So, hopefully that inspires and brings some clarity there for you. But that's what they have for you, my dear. So many blessings to you. I'm excited for it. So it definitely feels like let your heart lead the way. Speak what you're wanting to spirit, because it's talking about align with yourself, but also mention what your dream is, and you'll be surprised, pleasantly surprised, that situations will be created, right? I love it. All right, my dear. Many blessings to you. Thank you again for your donation and enjoy that adventure. All right, Flo, you are up next. Yeah, go with the flow. Where's Flo going? So, Flo, my name is Flo. Here's your timestamp. Let's give your donation a love and a like here. So, you accepted E's invitation to hang out tomorrow night. Ooh, okay. What can you expect from her? Oh, okay. A friendly vibe or something more. She even proposed to go to the same pub we used to hit when you were dating. Oh, all right, all right, all right. Let's see what's going on here. All right. So, based on current energies, what can you expect from her? Like, what are her intentions? What are your intentions towards our flow? Uh, it's going to be a friendly vibe or something else. We'll take a look here. And what else do you need to know? What your spirit guides like you to know here? And I feel like we do want just those, but this is like a kind of a hidden thing. All right. So what we got here. So we do have the bottom energy is the heart chakra. So this is all full of love, flowy energy that's coming in here. So a lot of it is from the heart. That's this energy. Let's see what their intentions are. So we got the authority, the emperor, wow, and the Six of Cups, memories of love. So what it calls here, Aries energy of this emperor, I feel like they're trying to decide if they want to take action. So I feel like this is as they're saying in here, it's a fact-finding mission, but they want to pick up on your emotions. They want to talk about the past and what great times you guys had, and um, just to see how you respond or react to things to decide. Because I feel like with this Aries Emperor energy, this is them wanting to make a plan. I feel like they've made a plan. Now they have action behind it. So this was the first step. Okay, let's get you in face to face and let's see what we're picking up and let's see what can spark. Will there be a new spark? Because that Aries new birth, sparking energy being the baby of the zodiac, the first beginning here. Interesting. What was the other second question here? I already forgot. Oh, friendly vibe or something more. Yeah, we have the Two of Pentacles. What door do we want to step through? I do feel like with the heart chakra on the bottom, the Six of Cups energy and all this, that they're going, okay, this is going to go one of two ways. And I feel like that's what I feel like they're leaning more toward trying to respark things. Let's see what we got here. We got other cards, which is what else do you need to know? So let's dig into the tea here. You do have the Four of Cups. Yeah, they're discontent and bored with their emotions. And the Six of Wands. Yeah, this is equal attraction, victory, passion, energy. So I do feel like I feel like they might have dated other people and they were like, they keep on, it's almost like there's this energy, they keep on comparing everyone to you and people just don't, of course, right? You're like, well, yeah, duh. They don't, when you put them on the scale, they just, you have so much that you are able to offer. Everyone else falls short, right? And I feel like they've realized that sometimes we don't realize what we've lost until it's gone, and sometimes we don't realize what we've lost until we find other stuff and go, ew, I thought there could be something more, but I feel like they've possibly have changed. We'll see what else we have here, because we got 3 cards underneath those. Let's see what's more below the surface. Well, we do have sacrifice here, the hangman, which is transformative energy of someone transforming from a caterpillar to a butterfly. So, as I was saying, we'll see if they've changed. Oop, maybe they have a bit here with this. We have the Leo energy, which is, again, another major arcana, finding your inner strength. And it is an 8 number of transformation and flow, coming in here too. Let's see what else we have here. Another 8. 8 of Wands, accelerated motion. So there is this energy here of change, and I feel like they went through a big, fast process of change and transformation. Before we look at your final card and then pull your fortune cookie, though, too. Of course, this is always, I love Spirit's advice on this. It's like whenever anyone wants to come back into our life and they say they've changed, I'm like, I'm so happy for you. And I'd like to get back together with you. Oh, well, I don't want to go back into what we had before because that wasn't working for us. But if you truly have changed, and I have changed too, let's just hang out. Before we make any decisions, let's just hang out more. And that's how, well, how long before you would want to make a decision on whether we could get back together or not? You can be like, what if we say 3 months? What? 3 months? Oh, I guess you haven't changed. Thanks for showing me. Or they're like, all right, we can do that, because no one can maintain a facade usually for more than 30 days. But when you say 3 months, of course, you can always back off of that amount. But if you're like 3 months, you get to see who someone is during that period of time and see if you want to do that or not. Also puts less pressure, and they're in, like, they get to choose, is you possibly being with me worth the 3 months? And if they're like, well, 3 months, how about they start bartering, right? You're like, no, all right, let me think about it. But you can really think about it and go, yeah, it's going to go back into the old ways, right? But I like this energy. Let's put your bottom under here. Yeah, because here's the conflict card, right? The 5 of Swords, the battle between the head and the heart, the battle between the fears. And that's good, that energy. It's, have things really changed? 5 is the number of change. It's like, prove it to me. And we'll see if I am still, after that time, if you still want to be with me, and if I would want to be with you, then, no harm, no foul. If we discover, no, we really aren't compatible, then that's good. But it's giving that kind of period of time, not a trial period, but just a proving period. Not to prove if someone's lying or not, but just to prove compatibility or not. But I feel like that's where the energy is going. Let's see what your fortune cookie brings in here too, with trust your vibes. And let's see what we got here. Help from beyond. Yeah. Ask, follow the guidance, follow your intuition and guidance from Spirit. That's coming in here too. Card number 20. Again, the number 2, the power of choice energy that comes in. Ask for help from your higher self, your angels, your spirit guides, and divine spirit teachers. You are deeply loved and supported, and encouraged to always call on that love, support, and protection. One of your greatest soul lessons is to accept and trust this steady stream of loving assistance available to you. This is not a time to push onward alone. Ask for help and receive it from wherever it shows up. Many loving spirit guides, angels, and earth angels are on standby, eager to help you. Take notice and let them in. I like that. So just you can even ask, okay, guys, they're reminding me of a time because you can ask spirit guides. You're always around. You're connected to their spirit guides. Can you show me anything that is important for me to know? Always bring it to my attention. I'm asking for your help. When we're asking of our own free will, they'll do this. They're reminding me of a time with my first ex. Well, I was still with them. They had this briefcase that was in our this junk room, and I was trying to come to the junk room, and I'm like, Spirit was like, "There's something in here," and I'm like, "Really?" And I'm like, and I tried opening it. It had the three little, you know, combo lock on it, so I couldn't open it. So I set it aside, and they came home from lunch, and I had off that day, and so I was, cleaning all the stuff out, and I go, "Hey," I was trying to be sly, right? Um, I was thinking of using a briefcase instead of like my little satchel bag. It keeps on bending on my folders. But it's locked. Do you mind if I like empty it out? I just use it for a while and see if I like it, and then I can get a new one. Why don't you just get a new one? I'm like, well, I don't want to spend the money if I don't like it. So, I was trying and they were pushing back, and I was trying, they were pushing back, and they're like, why are you being so difficult? I go, why won't you open this up? And then they blew up and they went back to work, right? Well, I set the briefcase down in the middle of the floor, and I was like, this is in the beginning when I first started to open up more to spirit. And I was like, spirit guides, you guys are around here all the time. So you know what this lock combo is. And you're telling me I need to see in here. What is the lock? Three numbers popped into my head. And I about pooped my pants when I did it and it opened up. It wasn't anything extreme, but it was the beginning of going, yeah, they're out wandering around with other people. So spirit let me know what was up. But it's amazing. Our spirit guides, they will help us in our life. They're there for us, right? So don't be afraid to ask them, right? Oh, hey, sorry, I wasn't paying attention. Should you keep your cool or let her get the hint that I'm still into her? Also kind of worried about the full moon energy. Best moment to keep your cool. It's bad timing for this kind of hangout. It's perfect timing. I mean, it's obviously it's going to go one way or another with the energy. But I feel like with spirit, with this coming in here, um, I I would keep it real, you know, but also let your heart not like go over and hump her leg or anything, right? you know, you can be yourself, you can let your emotion flow, but you don't have to act on all the emotion, right? It's like, do I want to go back if you're picking up the same vibes as before, right? Of we're gonna do what we've always did and get what we've always gotten. Do I want to go through that again? And you're like, sure, let's go around again. That's I know me. I love learning my lessons the hard way. So I don't judge anyone. I'm like, yeah, let's go again. Woo woo. One more time around the merry-go-round until I get sick, until I get thrown off the merry-go-round. But I'll learn it. So there's no wrong or right from spirit's perspective. There's just different experiences with different outcomes. Um, and yeah, different choices with different experiences and different outcomes. So I always say, just I don't. I'm going to be me kind of energy, right? I'm just going to be my authentic self. I'm going to respond and how they do that. And, you know, you can pick up on their energies and just see what unfolds, right? There's something about the moon is everything is exaggerated. Everything is kind of under an emotional magnifying glass. So it is probably, yeah, if she can. But yeah, give them the chance. Let them be the emperor, right? Let them make the choices there. And yeah, don't take over. They wanted to ask you out. So letting go of control is good. But this is probably a really good time because there's not going to be anything hidden. Everything's going to be, it's like everything's on the hot mic. Everything that is said inside and outside is going to be, there. And that's good because you do want honesty and transparency if you do want to try to go forward in something with them, right? So that is what they have there. Let's see, did we? Yeah, we already did your help from beyond. So ask your spirit guides, to be there too. Say, if I'm getting into tunnel vision and I'm not seeing things clearly, do something to catch my attention, please. Like someone drop a big tray full of food or drinks, right? You'll be like, oh, that's my sign. I was getting drawn in to come back to this moment. So I feel like enjoy it. Allow everything to flow. Go with you. Go with your flow. I love it. Yeah, please do. We always love the tea. So let us know how things went. You're like, um, I'm contacting you from jail. No, what happened? We got in a bar fight, but we got in it together against these other people. Oh, okay. No, I don't see any of that. But yeah, the less alcohol that you drink, probably the better as well. So you can stay clear-minded, at least for that time. All right. So that's what they got for you, Flo. Thank you again for your donation. Excited for your adventure. All right. Alice, you are up. Let's grab your timestamp here. Right. Oops. I guess I can share it with you too. Let's see. Did I put yours? Yeah, I did put yours. Hey, Jojo. So Alice will be up next, and then Maria P, and then Johanna. You'll be up after that. All right. So Alice, thank you so much for your sticker, your little burger. Now I'm hungry. So, Harris's thoughts and feelings about you and where he sees your relationship headed and what is he doing tonight. All right, let's take a look here with Alice. His thoughts and feelings, right? Thoughts, feelings. Okay. Where does he see your relationship headed? Okay, let's scooch this over here. Yeah, I feel like there's a lot below the surface here. There's what they know of, and then what they don't know, what they don't even know about what their intentions are. We'll dig into that here. And then what is he up to tonight? Harris, what are you doing? Let's take a look here. All right. So at the bottom of the deck, you do have just the energy around the whole reading is the High Priestess. Intuition, trusting your gut, trusting the voices is a bit of a, nudge for us to step back. She goes into her High Priestess temple to look at things from a different perspective, look in behind the scenes, what's going on, and dive into our own emotions and awareness. So that is coming in there. What their thoughts are for you here, you got the memories of love, the Six of Cups. So they are thinking about a lot about the good times that you guys have had together. So with the Six of Cups energy, there's past life connection here. But I feel like they're doing a lot of thinking, trying to understand their emotions and what they have felt. Like in the past, if that makes sense. So, we have that here. But it feels very much focused on, like they're trying to focus on the happy times that you guys have had together. That's what's like at the forefront of all their mind. Their emotions, that's what that is here. And they've got the Truth card here, the Judgment card. which is an energy of trying to see things from a higher perspective. In a way, it's I'm trying to figure out what my heart wants. And that is this balancing thing because we've got our human side that has all its supposed to be's and should be's and need to be's. It's almost like reversals. It's like the mind is thinking about the emotions and the heart is caught up in the thinking. It's almost as if their mind is dominating the conversation with their heart, which makes sense. I feel like we got something like that on them before, right? Big thinkers, not a lot, they don't allow themselves their heart to have a whole lot of say so in things. So it's all in the noggin, a lot of this energy that's coming in here. Let's see here. What are their thoughts about the relationship and where it's going to go here? Well, it's all about the passion, the Ace of Wands here. So passion ignited. And this makes sense. This kind of builds on what I was just saying. Because I don't feel like if they don't have like a big connection with their emotional center, then they express themselves through motion, passion, intimacy, not through emotion, right? It's more flame than it is water, right? So um, I feel like they're allowing their magic wand to lead the way, their passion to lead the way in their life, and that's kind of just feels like how they've been taught growing up. Don't allow your heart, follow the magic wand. Let's see what's up below the surface here. What's really going on here, right? We got the Six of Pentacles, material and spiritual prosperity, which this is the codependency awareness card here, wanting someone that would give and receive equally. And we got the Empress card, which it is sensuality, the Empress. It's about birthingness. It's like their heart wants to feel emotion. They really want this bond, but I feel like there's this out of balanceness within their what they feel they're worthy of, and a lot of their fears holding back that. So I feel like their conscious awareness of what they want from a relationship is I want intimacy because that fills me up and that's what I feel like I'm supposed to do and what I'm supposed to want. It's like that's their repetitive cycle that they go over and do and do and do. And so that's what they do. But below the surface, there's a lot of this. I want someone that can give and receive equally. I want to be able to give and receive equally. The Empress is I want someone that is full of emotion that can give love too. But I feel like that's way below in the subconscious. It's like what their heart is really longing for, but their heart I do feel is locked up in a dungeon, you know, uh, in the deep, deep depths of the castle, not allowed to express itself, but it's down there writing poetry of the love that I wish I had, but they don't like acknowledge it. Let's see here. What are they up to tonight? We got the sacrifice. We got the hanged man, just hanging around. We got the throat chakra, which is action and speaking, kind of energy. The throat chakra, because if you put your arms out, it's at the same length or the same level as our throat. So it's speaking, but also acting our truth. What's below the surface here? Yeah, we got deception and envy. This is I hate to say it, but it is the thievery, the lying, the cheater energy. But it's about how I'm deceiving myself kind of energy. But I just feel here that they're off on trying to express themselves and being true to themselves. In this hanged man energy is I'm just trying to. It's not really transformational energy, but I'm trying to see things from a different perspective but I feel like I have to live my truth. But below that, underneath it all, there is, even if I have to lie about it or deceive or not tell the entire truth to people. So I know. And I feel like with this, intuition, I feel like that's what you feel like something is going on there too. Let's get a clarifier. Is there another what's an empress? You are the empress. Is there another queen or female or someone involved? Is there more other passion involved here? Okay. And we got the Ace of Pentacles. This is a new opportunity, something new out there. Yeah. I got the Two of Cups. Did we get this before for them? There is I feel like they're, and it makes sense with everything I was picking up here, because with the Ace of Wands and that, with all this, I have to fill myself up with passion. When I'm looking for that from the outside world, it is about, it's never enough. I can't fill my heart up with passion from the outside world. I can't even fill up my heart with the love from the outside world, because what we're wanting is our, self-love. That's what we're just trying to fill us up. So I know. What's going on? Let's take a look here. Let's see what your fortune cookie brings in here too about trusting your vibes. What else is important for you to know about Paris here? Yeah, we got take it easy. Number 8 here. Let's see what this is here. The universe is inviting you to take it easy right now. Rather than push forward, it's time to pause and even step back. Ooh. The doors of opportunity will open naturally without a struggle if you relax and wait. Be patient and things will fall into place around you. There's no need to feel anxious or pressured. All will turn out in your favor in due time. Life is taking a little longer to bring what you want than is comfortable. In the meantime, take it easy. Go within to connect with the deep reassurance coming from your spirit. That's that high priestess, right? Step back. You are not stuck, trapped, or left behind. All is in perfect order. There's no need to feel any stress or worry. Expect good things and you will not be disappointed. So I feel like this is, with you and Harris specifically, because that's what we're asking about, is pause, take a step back, allow things to unfold and go forward. And with this 8 flowing energy, it's going to flow in the best place for you, because I feel like as you step back and you really are like, I feel like there's something going on here, and I deserve to have someone that does give equal love back to me. And you are learning from the situation with them about how you feel about yourself, everything that kind of bubbles up within you in regards to your interactions with them is showing you what you want to see about yourself, so that I feel like as you move forward, you won't, you know, um, like uh, take those old triggers with you in a way, if that makes sense. So I know, Alice. Hopefully that helps bring some clarity to maybe what you were picking up on the inside, maybe some validation, some confirmation. So, all right. So that is what they have for you, my dear. So many blessings to you. Thank you again for your donation. Sending you lots of love. I know, been in that kind of situations myself before. No, it sucks at the time. In the future, reflecting, a lot of growth, a lot of freedom that comes with that too. So hang in there. All right. So many blessings to you. All right, Maria P., you are up. Look, you got a little bit of mirroring going on with your timestamp, 154:45. Right, let's go over here to the PayPal. So let me just get rid of that there out of the way. There we go. All right. So thank you for your donation. And let's see, what do we got going on this evening? So what are Wally's thoughts and feelings for you today? All right. Take a look here. What are thoughts and feelings? Thoughts and feelings. Boom, boom. What's coming for you and Wally? So what does Spirit want you to know about what's headed your way? After our little fight conversation yesterday, his thoughts, well, there's a lot of energy that's coming in here with this eclipse season. So there's a lot of volatile energy out here. It's either going to be, it can go into a loving way or it can go into a hissing way. So it's a lot of that going on out here, just to be aware of it. Updates on the dark side. Okay. And you work with Jeff sometimes. I think he likes me. His thoughts on me. What, are you already moving on? Looking at your options. All right. So that's what we have. Let's take a look here. So what are Wally's thoughts towards you today? You got suffering in silence. This is the Nine of Swords. So there's a lot of fear that comes up here. And yeah, whenever you guys fight, right, there is all these, oh God, I gotta, right? It's all the bubbling up of these fears. They go into fight or flight mode and they're like, oh gosh, because they're used to people abandoning them and leaving them. And that, conflict equals me being punished energy, right? So there is this, a lot of fears that are bubbling up within their mind right now, within their heart. Yeah, we've got the Five of Swords too. Conflict and defeat. Yeah, that's defeat. I said that here. So they're stuck in their mind a lot. Their heart, I feel, is they've shut down their heart because they're stuck in their fears and the conflict in their head. So they're in that protection mode where they've unplugged their heart so that it doesn't, it's like there's a lightning storm going on. Let's unplug this computer so it doesn't get fried. It's like they're unplugging their heart so it doesn't get fried during this storm that they feel is going on here. So yeah, there is this looping in their fears kind of energy. What's coming for you and Wally? Let's take a look here. Yeah, we've got the Devil card. Here's the shaking and the rattling of the cage, stuck in the mindset, stuck in the expectations, right? That's usually what happens if we had a fight. That means there was conflict between what I expected and I didn't get, or what I expect I didn't get, or both. What we're not getting, right? So there is this energy of um, learning experience here. It's a stepping stone to understand what are my long held supposed to's and expectations, my small t truths rooted in fear. They're all bubbling up so I can face them. That's why we have conflict, because when I'm disappointed, if I go into fight or flight mode, that's when there's hissing. If I don't have any expectations and I'm not in fear, I can listen to the other person, empathize with them, seek understanding, and embrace them because of what they're going through, their fears, to help them make it easier for them to feel safe and their little inner child feels safe and in control. But if my little inner child, of course, responds to someone else's, that's where fights and conflict come from. Otherwise, because it takes two people to fight, it takes two hissing cats to fight. If one is a hissing cat and the other one's, have you seen the memes where one cat's just sitting there, the other one goes, bat, 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 and the other one's like, but you see the other one when they're both, and then it's right. So, but I feel like this conflict, based on current energies, I feel like you face your conflicts, and then I feel like with this Saturn Capricorn energy, if you do the work, you get the reward. And if you don't do the work, you just circle back around to battle again. Interesting. Let's take a look here. After your fight, what were his thoughts? Yeah, we got the Wheel of Fortune. This is the fate's wheel, this feeling of abundance that things happen for us. So I feel like after the, what would you call it? The little fight conversation, that they're not so much, they're not someone who reacts about cutting things off, right? They know things take, the wheel goes around and around and around, and that it's okay. This is part of a relationship. Um, so I don't feel like they are in that energy of that things are going to end. I feel like they're like, it'll come back around. We'll circle back around. We're learning and we're growing. We're not going in circles. We're going up a spiral staircase. We're learning about each other. We're getting through things. It's all part of a relationship, right? And that's, I feel like, where their thoughts are on it. Updates on the dark side. You do have the foundations and achievements. The Four of Wands just feels like things are, it's a joy energy there. So it feels like it's rainbows right now over there, that it's not so dark. It feels kind of bright over there. Maybe they're gone. Maybe he has the house to himself. But it does feel like there's the energy of peace that's there right now. Four is a card of stability, so it's like the energies are stable over there right now with the dark side. And then Jeff, you work with him sometimes. You think he likes me. His thoughts on you. Um, he's more of a thinker, and it is thoughts. We have the um, Justice card, which is the scales that go back and forth, see things from a different perspective. I don't feel, I feel like they enjoy the conversation and stuff, but I don't get emotion with that. It's a very mental energy card that's coming in there. So they might think about you, but I don't feel like there's emotion that's there. Might be attraction, but I feel like there's not like emotion. Like they're not like, oh, I want to love them, I want to be with them energy, but they do enjoy the mental. Let's see what your fortune cookie brings in here as well. Hey, W.O. Hello, hello. And Mackenzie. Welcome, welcome. Sorry, I didn't see you guys come in here. It's all in the readings. Let's see what your fortune cookie. Listen to your body. Your body is communicating with you here. You got the number 4, which is stability. So listen to what your body's telling you. It says, your inner guidance speaks through your body. Inner guidance is subtle and easy to miss if you're doing too much or moving too fast. Take a breath and slowly exhale. With it, release the stress and commotion in your body. So, and then slow exhale. As you inhale, shift your attention from your head to your heart space and notice the subtle yet distinct vibrations communicating with you from within. For example, you may sense warm, encouraging waves of energy in your heart area or pulsing, protective vibes in your gut. You may feel constructive warnings in your throat area. Even the hairs on your arms or the back of your neck may be standing up, sending you energetic clues about the world around you. Breathe gently and pay attention to these subtle but invaluable signals. They send information that bypasses your thinking mind. Don't ask others for their input or opinion right now. Others' input, even if well intentioned, weakens your connection with your inner guidance and will leave you confused or second guessing. Listen closely to your body instead, for it tells you the truth. Ooh, it does. And I like that about getting out of your head and into your heart, right? Which is also about getting out of our expectations and all that overthinking and that needing to control and trusting our heart, which takes us into that place of gratitude and unconditional love and that takes us to flow and expansiveness instead of feeling right, that tightness. So breathing's important for you right now. All right. So that's what they have for you, Maria. So many blessings to you. All right. Thank you again for your donation. All right, Johanna, we are to you. And your timestamp is 2:05:010. 2 times 5 is 10. Look at that. All right, let's give that a love and a like. Thank you for your donation. Hello, hello, my friend from the other side of the world. What color would you be? Oh, like an aura. Shoo! That was getting scary. Like mainly you read about like rainbow auras and copper auras today. Oh, okay, very good. If you can't tell, you can ask another question. We'll see what spirit says. I do feel it fluctuates. Our auras do change. I think I've shared before. There's a video. I don't know if I have it on this computer. I have it over on this one, but I can't get it over here. But I think I shared it. And what I might do is I'll put aura video. After I'm done, I will get it added into the pinned comment under your name if you want to go see it. But I went. They had this. I just happened upon it because I went to a metaphysical store and they're like, I was checking out after I bought some stuff, and this was like, when you see me, I'm a young lad. I mean, it was like 20 years ago, I think. It was like way, way, way back. But next door, they were having, there was this machine where if you put your hand on it, it would project your aura and they could see your aura from what it was. And I had all these different colors. And as I interacted with this person as she was recording, she put hers was all purple. She was like in this connection to spirit, right? And when she put her hand, it like influenced the energy around me. And then when the person came over to read my aura, as she was talking, when she would focus on something, you would see it go, it would like, you would see it change color, and then it would change color, and it would change color. So it was really cool. But let's take a look here. So it does change. So what's the overall kind of dominant color for you right now? All right. What do we have here? All right. Let's see what else. You know what I think about auras. So let's take a look here. But our energy's always, changing and fluctuating. We have some stuff that's, consistent in our auras. I feel like it's, it's always there. It's just whatever is dominant in the moment, our emotional energy combined with our mental energy, our physical energy. It feels like green here. Of course, makes sense. It's a love energy. Ever changing, 5 of Cups energy. Let's see what else we have here. Yeah, even on the bottom of the deck, you have a lot of blues that come in here. A lot of thinking energy that comes in here. Especially connecting to higher knowledge kind of energy that comes in. Yeah, I love it. Yeah, and again, green energy. I feel like a lot of it is here. You do have, look, and here's your rainbow. You have the purple, which is connection to the spirit world. But that rainbow is there. And so I do feel like there is this rainbow. It is it is like all of our energies really are. It's like there's a rainbow that's there. And it's like when you look at a rainbow in the sky, and sometimes there's one energy that is like, wow, it's really standing out, right? And then the rest of them are smaller. And sometimes they're really, you know, uh, deep colors, and other times it's just not there. It's our energies. It's our expression of our of our choices. But and it does alterate. I think I've talked about it before too, when a friend of mine that sees auras, after I had a really amazing experience where I, through a meditation, went up into the moon and I stepped off into the moon, into the space of timelessness. It felt like transparent energy. As I was telling her the whole story, um, when she came into my cubicle to talk to me, she was like, "Oh my God, your aura! I'm surprised people can't see it. It's like a bright rainbow," which is funny. Like a crystal aura mirrors other auras. Our energy does interact with other energies around us, which in that video they were, when they did it, you could see how it impacted the energies out here. But um, of course, at that time, I was all new to it all, too. I didn't have like an energetic bubble that I protected my energies to keep it less influenced by external energies. Um, so that's a piece of it too. But even when I was talking to this friend, as I talked about like um, red and da 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 da, she was like, "Oh my God, your aura just went red." And then I talked about blue and it went blue. She goes, "I've never seen this before," but it was like the energy was changing as I was talking about it. It started to show the energy. And then when I talked to her about stepping off into that place, her eyes got really big and she was in a, a chair, with wheels on it. She scooted out of my cubicle like she was freaking out. She goes, "Your aura went transparent." I've never seen that before. It was amazing because it just teaches you that our energies, it so is influenced by our focus and our emotional choices and the energy we're focusing on. It's like bzz, 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 bzz. We can change our auras by what our focus is. That's how powerful we are. Even on the bottom of the deck, you have the new beginnings, the full card, which is an energy of stepping into, it's, well, that's our soul. For me, it represents our soul before it steps off into this world. We are, full here of so much power and ability, and there's so much that we don't understand and so much that we try to define as humans, try to control as humans too, right? But it's like, no, no, no. So I love that. I was thinking you were gonna get, because we have chakra energies in here, but it feels like they wanted to show that you have different ones when you're focusing. Oh, yeah, when you're focusing on your heart with the green, when you're focused on your brain, that's all that thinking energy. It's like wherever our energies are at, right? Yeah. And it definitely can be. I feel like everyone probably has a rainbow aura, because we have every energy within us. There's just different ones we choose at different parts of our life. So um it'll be interesting, you know, just to realize that when other people read our auras too, they're also looking at it through their, you know, uh, their own filters as well. Um, so it's important to stay open to what messages you're getting from spirit. But it is always fluctuating because we're in different energies in our life. Our chakras are, you know, depending on, sometimes one chakra is brighter than the other, has more energy going through it than others. Um, yeah, exactly. Oh, clear aura, a chameleon. Woo! But I feel like we do have those abilities depending on what adventure we're on and what we're going through. Some people might have, like, think like a golden or a yellow aura is about knowledge or something. So it might be like our journey, like this journey, I'm I'm wearing a yellow, like a yellow, like in Hawaii when they put a lei around your neck. I have a yellow around my neck because that's my focus in this lifetime. And some people might have multiple things. So they might be that um, equally trying to do different things. But some people are here for, nope, I'm in here for this. Like green, I think was healing and doing like Reiki and a kind of energy healing work. I forget the different ones that they said, but it was interesting because the last thing I did with them was I said, before we end it, can I try something and we can see what it does? I'm like, yeah, absolutely. Because what I was going to do is I was going to draw in and let that love energy just flow into me and pulse out of me and see what it did to my aura. And in as I did that, you can even hear if you turn up the volume on the video, she says, "Oh my God, what was that?" That she felt it. She goes, "I don't know what you did, but I felt it over here." And you can see I got really like here, it just turned really, really bright white. It was like, shh. And it was like, that's love energy, this bright white light energy, which white is when you're looking at light, white holds all colors, right? When you put white light through a prism, it turns into a rainbow. Interesting, right? Wow, I love this. Let's see what your fortune cookie brings in here, too. All right. Anything else about auras or color? Be grateful. The sun. I love this. Card 50. There's that 5 energy again of change, ever changing energy. That makes sense from the sun. The sunlight, when it comes through, is what turns into a rainbow. Make a list of all your blessings so you fully recognize how much abundance you genuinely enjoy. Fill your heart with gratitude for everything on the list, for it is all a gift from God who loves you unconditionally. Add to this list daily as you notice little things you appreciate in your life. Rather than fretting or worrying about what you don't have, change your perspective and begin recognizing all you have. The more you acknowledge your blessings, the more they flow. If you are poverty conscious, now is your time to recover. There is no lack of abundance available to you. You simply must break the habit of perceiving the world as one of deprivation and struggle and accept the endless blessings waiting to come in. Enjoy the blessings you have now and ask the universe to keep them coming. Then prepare for the windfall. This isn't being greedy. This is self-esteem and understanding that you are a beloved child of the universe. One who is unconditionally loved and will be amply provided for every step of your human existence. This has always been the case, but you may have missed your blessings before now because you didn't have the eyes to see them or the open heart to receive them. You can change this today by counting your blessings and watch them multiply 1,000. Wow, I love that. You probably am here for blue. And it is. I like this kind of because we start, it's like comparing all the different flowers. If all the flowers go, oh, you're a red rose. I want to be a red rose, but they're a yellow rose or a sunflower. Or it's like being grateful for who we are and that our human wants us to compare and contrast, right? And it's like, what's my aura? It's like be grateful for your aura for whatever it is because it's perfect for you. And when we start our human mind likes to define and differentiate, but then their comparison comes in. It's like, oh, I've got a dull gray aura. I want a rainbow one. Can I trade my aura in? Because I like that one better. It's like embracing and having gratitude for what we are in a way. I feel like is a message that comes in with that too. That's funny. All right. So that's what they have for you, my dear. So many blessings to you. Thank you again for your donation. All right, we'll circle back around. We have Alice here. So, Alice, you are at 2:20 even. Let's grab both your timestamps here. Thank you for your additional donation. Messages and advice from Spirit to help you with your confidence. All right, yeah, let's take a look here, see what they have here. We could all use this. Our human, this whole human adventure is one of the big things is our adventure of worth. We come from this being eternal, powerful, you know, um, spirit beings made of unconditional love, just these powerful beings. And then a little piece of us comes down to experience what it feels like to be a little tiny human being. And then, we still, when we're young, we realize who we are. And then we start being told a lot from the outside world who we're not. Right. Very welcome, Jojo. And thus becomes our journey of having our worth, us being told, oh, your self-worth, that's out here. You are defined by these three buckets of relationships with human situations like jobs and education and things, your body, your bank account, your possessions. That's your self-worth. And we're like, oh, okay. But that's retail price. That's the value that we feel people of the outside world put on us. But self-worth comes from inward and upward, from that higher place where when we turn inward and upward after getting tired and disappointed with the instability and temporariness of the outside world, eventually everything points us inward to where like, oh, there's my worth, my pricelessness. I'm eternally and unconditionally loved. And that's how I define my worth, is by that. That's self-worth. That's retail price. We end up on the clearance rack out here, right? So our confidence does get shaken when we're told, define yourself by this instability out here. That's why we feel unstable, because people change, people walk away, people pass away. Human beings are fickle, right? We have a little built-in inner child that when it feels unsafe and out of control, it does all sorts of stupid, unloving, uncaring things, right? Because our intelligent mind is booted out and we act like a 2-year-old. So, that's what happens. And of course, situations never stay the same. Our bodies, things deteriorate, break down, blow up, stolen, all that instability. That's why we feel so unstable, because we've been told a lie that, oh, that's your self-worth out there. And like, they didn't know what they were talking about when they were telling us that. They were just passing on a lie that they didn't know. They thought that was the truth. But when we eventually go, no, 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 my worth comes from in here, not out here, that changes things, right? Let's see what Spirit, that's good for all of us. Let's just see here, and what else? What else does Spirit have here for us? What else do they want you to know about confidence? Do you want that one? We got this one, this one, this one, and this one. Okay. Yeah. I like it. So yeah, at the crux beneath the surface, we do have the Two of Swords, which is, they call it mental conflict, which, yeah, the battle between the head and the heart, the human small t truths going, no, this is the truth. And then our heart connecting to the higher realms, which is the capital T truth of what the real truth is, right? There's this battle that goes on in our head all the time, because one is rooted in the small t truths of fear of rejection, fear of not being good enough, blah, blah, blah. And then the capital T truth that we're powerful, eternal, unconditional, spirit beings made of unconditional love that are eternally and unconditionally loved. It's like, wow, boom, boom. Let's see what else they have here. Yeah. Got all these twos. We got the spiritual union, the Two of Cups. So the Two of Swords, the Two of Cups is emotional choice, mental choice. So there is all this energy, like we said, when we're growing up, we're given a lot of opinion, a lot of popular opinion from the outside world. Mental stories about when these things happen, this is what they mean. This is what they're supposed to mean. It's opinion. This is our opinion and our suggestion of what, when this happens, this is what this means about you, other people, the world, right? And then emotionally, that's the four choices we make are mental, emotional, energetic, and physical action choices. We're taught the story of what we put to something, the emotion we want to feel as we go through something. Again, a lot of opinion. This is our opinion of how you should or supposed to feel. Our suggestion, feel this way when that happens, and then whatever we're taught to focus our energy on things like the outside world and focus on your fears, focus on what you want, need that you don't have. But all that brings in the things we fear, brings us in lack instead of we're not taught. Focus on what you're grateful for in each moment. You get more of that. We focus on what if someone takes it away? What if something doesn't happen? What if I'm rejected? What if this? What if that? Right? We're taught a lot of that. And then, of course, our physical choices. But all of this power of choice is every moment where we are the ones making the choice about what we believe something means, how we want to feel about it, the action that we're taking, and the energy we're putting forward and drawing toward us. We're the masters of our world, not other people. We're not at the whim of the outside world. But if we allow everyone's actions or non-actions, their words or their silence to define me with the story, oh, they're doing this means this about me. I'm making this choice. I can change that. I can say their actions are about them. What's bubbling up within me is about me. So let me control what I can control. My power of story, my power of emotion, my power of my energy where I'm investing it, and my actions. I can't control anyone else's. It's like turning in our little deputy badge, deputy of the universe. I'm making sure everyone else is doing and acting the way they're supposed to. Waste of our energy, right? When we let everyone else's things go and I come back to me, that's where my self-confidence comes in, because that's where my stability comes in, right? Realizing I'm the holder of my choices and no one else. I can't control anyone else, but no one else can control me. They can try, but if I don't allow it, they can't. But it's like a vampire knocking on a door saying, let me in. Okay, we let them in, right? But if we say, whatever, slam, they have to be invited in to be able to come in. And if I don't allow it, then they can't. And I can just make, faces at them through the window. They can't get me. Right? Anyway, what else do you have here? Yeah, you got the Three of Cups along with the Hanged Man. Yeah. Seeing things from a different perspective. The Three of Cups is from a place of joy. Every moment is a choice of higher vibration of story. Like I can choose a story that is about gratitude and unconditional love and joy and laughter and peace and play. Or I can choose a lower vibrational story of fear, of, you know, what it means about me. I'm rejectable. I'm not good enough. All the things we fear, right? It's either that or a higher vibrational emotion of joy, unconditional love, all those things we said, or an emotion of fear. So it's all those choices we make are one or the other. And this is about seeing things from that higher perspective. We start changing as I focus more in on the higher vibration. I start getting more higher vibrational relationships and situations and experiences versus when I focus on the lower vibration, I get more things that match that, right? And then you have, yeah, the balance. So, yeah, here's the Justice card, which is all about the two sides of the scale. Again, this repetitive message of I see things from a higher perspective. Then I start questioning the small t truths on that side of the scale. And as I delve and obtain more higher awareness around what things really mean, the real capital T truths rooted in unconditional love, the scale goes to, and as I question some of these small t truths rooted in fear and go, that's not true. I not only take it off of this side of the scale, but I also, as I'm learning about that's not true, I'm gaining new knowledge, and that gets added over here. So it's the balancing of thought and belief is a huge piece. That's where we can start. Why do I believe that? Why do I believe when that person, like in my case, I had 3 out of my 5 relationships, ended up going outside the relationship for pleasures. There was a belief that I had grown up that when they do that, that means I'm worthless. I'm not worth being faithful to. I'm I deserve to be lied to and for them to pretend like they're not doing these things. And it's like, no, I learned through it all. Great awareness that, um, that their actions tell me about them and what they're going through and how they're, feel like one person isn't enough and they're so desperate for trying to fill their heart up that they feel like one person. It's not about me. It's they're unhappy on the inside. I can't make them happy. They're unhappy. They're feeling empty. I can't fill them up. They need to fill from the inside out, right? But I also learned through it all that I was cheating on myself with them because I was defining my worth by their actions or non-actions, their words or their silence, right? So I was defining myself by that, and my self-worth is here. So I was cheating on myself with them defining myself by the outside world. So it's amazing the things we can learn and grow from, and realizing everything is for us, right? Below the surface here, you do have the 9 of Wands. We've got the spiritual strength here, which is really this realizing this is your human, but this is the powerful you. That this is just one of the many billions of characters and expressions your soul has had, that this doesn't define you. You are so much more than you've ever been taught. And it's returning and remembering who you really are that can help grow that. Yeah, you have the 3 of Swords, expectations equal disappointment, heartache, and loss. One of the big things to realize is that heartache is a lie, that the prick that we feel in our heart, even though it feels like our heart is breaking in half, it's really our heart being pricked and going into fight or flight mode because we're fear that their actions mean this about me, that people are going to find out I'm unlovable and unacceptable and I'm going to be alone the rest of my life and I'm never going to find love again. Well, eventually, after you have enough relationships, you start going, oh God, I am going to find love again. plenty of plenty of lessons, plenty of mirrors walking around to show us what we want to see about ourselves. And then we realize my heart can't be broken. It's just that I was fearing in this emotional monster uh, belief that these things mean something about me is what was triggering me and this prick in my heart. But heartbreak isn't real. It's just our body telling us you're fearing. You have this belief that's igniting a fear within us. But what are you fearing, right? You do have the 5 of Pentacles. Yeah. 5 of Pentacles is a belief of lack, the fear of abandonment, being left behind, being left on the cold, not being enough, not having enough. So with the expectations and all these stories, we're going back to that, which is what we talked about in the beginning, that we have all these beliefs that these things mean this, and that if you're not going to be enough. But when you realize you are ever more than enough, I mean, this is the powerful you, and that it's all a lie, right? And then you do have, again, we return to the 2s, the 2 of Wands energy. I like it that they start off with a 2, they end with a 2, and even your timestamp was 220. So got all this power of choice energy that whatever I focus on is what grows and expands in my life. I am the driver of the vehicle of my life. I'm not a child that's in a child seat in the back and the world is just taking me wherever it pleases. No. When we're on autopilot, when I'm not making conscious choices, then my subconscious is making choices for me, which is, of course, all these beliefs in lack and everything that we, until we transform those are our default, right? And if I'm not consciously going, I'm choosing seeing myself from my true perspective of who I am and those choices, then it defaults to the other, right? So, and it's about not beating ourselves up. It's realizing, oh, there's no wrong choice. There's just different choices with different experiences and different outcomes. That when I choose the lower vibration, I get the, and we come down here to experience the, but we don't have to, right? We can say no, 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 no to those thoughts and beliefs and mindsets and choose higher whenever we want. That's our power, right? So hopefully that helps a little bit there, Alice. I know I've been there myself, so hang in there, my dear. And many blessings. Thank you for your additional donation. All right, and Johanna, thank you for your additional donation as well. Let's grab your timestamps here. Boom, boom. And we'll give that a love and a like since it lets me here. I'm going to take a sip while we're looking here. You again. Thanks for being here. So, you just want a small message from whichever guide wants to talk. All right. First of all, can you tell us who you are? Work hard, please. Okay, thank you. And then what message do you have for Jojo? All right, thank you. All right. Eeny, meeny, miny. All right, so okay, just 3 then, if you want a little one. Just a little message. Bottom of the deck, we've got the intuition, the priest, high priestess, right? So we do have this, of course, energy of communicating, listening. The high priestess goes away, connects to the higher realms, looks behind the veil, dives deep into their own emotions. This time, it's like hermity energy. We'll see, who is this? Is this your fairy godmother? I don't know. We got the 4 of Pentacles coming in here. So this feels more, it just doesn't feel like your fairy godmother here. It does feel, I'm getting like this emperor energy. It is a masculine, like the divine masculine strength energy of balance and foundation and structure kind of energy that's coming in. And they are someone you knew in this lifetime. I was going, have you been in this lifetime with them? And they're like, yes. And I'm like, are they on like mother's side or father's side? Is it mother's side? Because I feel like it's over here. And when I'm looking at divine masculine, divine feminine energy, I feel like they're over here. It might be like great grandfather, because it's like you have mother, then you have father, but I feel like it's like up here. So it could be up there. Yeah, it could be, or great grandpa even, because it feels very not that they're German, but I'm hearing in a German accent. We have our ways. It must be this way, which is funny. All right, let's see what message they have coming in here. They're just coming in that way, but they're not. Of course, when we're on that side, we're not that way. But I feel like they're coming through just to connect with you in that way. You got conflict and defeat with the 5 of Swords, the battle between your head and your heart. They're just bringing that to the front. What else do we have here? You've got the 8 of Pentacles. We do have this emotional withdrawal. Again, there's this withdrawal energy that's coming in here with the High Priestess. And then you have the 6 of Swords, moving on. But you move the 5 of Swords, there's the stepping away, emotional withdrawal. The 8 of Pentacles is doing the blood, the sweat, the tears, doing this transformation, and then you move on. So I feel like whatever this conflict is that you're having arise in the outside world. It could be conflict with the individual, or maybe it's just conflict between your head and your heart. But I feel like there is this struggle that's going on, and they're like, when you take a step back and you spend time with yourself, and of course, when we do that with the high priestess or the hermit, both of them, they reach up and connect to the higher realms, to connect to that beautiful love energy that's there, that allows us to fill up and then flow and move forward. And they're like, that's the way it is. The Six of Swords is we let old ways of thinking go away. We look at things from a higher perspective. It takes us from the choppy waters to the calmer waters. But there is a bit of emotional withdrawal. It's like stepping away. Um, Usually it's get out of your head and into your heart. Here it almost feels like they're like, get out of your heart and your head, and go into the go sit on the moon. Get out into the planet, get in your little starship and go outside the planet. Get out of your human head and your human heart and connect with your higher mind and your higher heart. And it'll give you the perspective and the clarity and the movement that comes in with that. But I feel like they're saying the conflict is coming up to show you what can be released that's holding you back. It's like until you get up and start to walk, you don't feel the chain, right? That's holding you back until you start to walk and go, oh, hey, what's that? Well, I was going to say the moon, because I remember when I would go out and sit on the moon, they're like, no, the moon is emotional energy. You need to get off planet. You need to get like, you know, you need to get out of the solar system. Like go in and visit another solar system in a meditation. Like go to a collective. Go to the Syrian star seed, collective, or go visit another solar system. They're like, you need to get like out of this place. You need to get out of your world for a little bit. Conflict's already going on, I feel. But if you don't, then more conflicts will come. I feel like that's why they're saying kind of take off on a little ship, another star system, right? Just go off into, a nebula somewhere, or go where no Johanna has gone before, like Star Trek, right? Just go on this adventure and just it allow perspective to come in. Otherwise, it feels like it's just gets louder and louder and bigger until you do, because it's for you to release something. So I feel like that's the kind of energy that's coming in there. So that's grandpapa on your mother's side. So they'll go with you too. They're like, come on, I'll go with you. They're putting on a Spock wig and Spock ears and a science officer Star Trek outfit. They're like, come on, I'll go with you. You're like, you're gonna cosplay Mr. Spock? Nice. Anyway, but that's what they have for you, my dear. It's too funny. Too funny. Cracks me up. They've got such a great sense of humor on the other side, though. That's funny. All right, so that's what they have for you, my dear. Enjoy your adventure into outer space. You are very welcome. All right, so Valerie Calver, you are up and you are at 244 even. Look at that, 24400. Let's grab that here. Whoops. A little too far there. There we go. Let's give your donation a love and a like, since it lets me on those. On to us. Oh, yeah, in your dreams. The veil is very thin right now, too. I love that. All right. So, Valerie, you'd like a general reading. All right. Let's see what Spirit has here for you. Sleep well, my friend. All right. So, what do we have for Valerie? Okay. Got this. I do want this. I do want this. I do want this one too. I feel like this one's down here though. Down here. Come on. Don't want that one, but I do want this one. It's up over here. All right, let's see what we got going on here, Valerie. All right. I do have card number 18, which is the shadow. This is the moon energy, right? I believe so. It's an 18. I think 19 is the star. Let me just double check. Yeah, it is the moon. Hey, boom, boom. So, of course, we've got a lot of moon energy going on. If you didn't catch the beginning of our the stream today, because of course we've got that full moon, lunar eclipse, and Pisces on Sunday. We're right in the middle of eclipse season, so there's a lot of energy that's going on. So if you've been feeling like the world is odd and different and a bit off and a bit staticky and a bit sparky and a bit expansive, like all emotions are under a magnifying glass, well, you're not alone. And that I feel like this is what they're saying here. There's a lot of moon energy happening, a lot of stuff bubbling up from below the surface, because the moon energy, of course, is about our deep subconscious that's coming in here. You're March 22nd. Yeah. So you're on the cusp of Pisces going into Aries, right? So you're like, oh, I know this energy. I have like 1 foot in all of that, and then 1 foot in sparky Aries too, right? So you're definitely um you have a good stability for that, because I have like a stellium in Pisces, meaning 3 or more planets. I actually have 4, a bunch of other water energy. But so when you're used to swimming in water, you're not afraid of water, right? You're like, yeah, I know how to handle this. So I like that, but you're still picking up on it. You're still realizing that you're just not as intimidated by it as people who don't have a lot of that in there might be going, oh God, look at that wave. And you're like, just dive under it. You'll be fine. In the water, like underneath, yeah, just take a big deep breath. You won't drown as long as you swim through it. And they're like, what? But if you've done it, if you grew up like near a beach or somewhere where there was water all the time, we're like, yeah. But if it's someone that's never been around water or an ocean and going, what is that thing? That big wave of what? That's a wave? So I feel like that's what they want you to know. There is a lot of emotional waves that are happening right now, so that you're picking up on. And you got the magician. So here's this energy of energetic focus, and again, this expansive energy. And it does feel this fieriness, even though I think this is more Mercury energy, but it's definitely this uh, bringing the heavenly energy down through us into the world, which is kind of what is happening with, because Pisces, eclipse energy, and then we have Virgo, which are on opposite sides of the birth chart, right? Um, is Pisces is very much about the heavens, and Virgo is very much about the grounding and the day-to-day, the tasks, the daily lists, the physical health. So there is this kind of energy of being pulled between the two, right? So I feel like being aware of your energy is important, because whatever you're focusing on, of course, is growing, uh, big, you know, you're drawing it in, but this energy that we're in is just expansive energy too. Yeah. And you got the Two of Wands, the waiting game. But this is also about um, Two of Wands is also an awareness of, if I focus on higher vibration, I get things that match that. If I focus on lower vibration, I get things and experiences that match that, right? So again, awareness of my energy, where it is, knowing that I'm the one that's creating my experience. Whatever I focus on, it's important to know that right now. Oh my gosh. And then the Ace of Wands. Yeah. So there is all this that's coming in here. You got these aces and these the ones. Um, so there is all this new beginning energy that's coming in here too. But it all again, all of this is pointing. All three of these cards are pointing to what I put forward, what my focus is, both mental, emotional, energetic, attraction, physical energies, is drawing stuff to me. And I feel like they're really reinforcing here with this eclipse season for you, especially one, two, three times the amount of energy of attraction. So I feel like things come in big and fast, whatever you're focusing on. So they really want you to know that if you focus in on gratitude about something, you get more of that that comes in big ways. If I focus on my fear or lack, I get stuff that matches that fast and in big ways. So awareness of your energy, whether it's sticky notes all over the place, reminders on your phone, or little silent alarms that go off, vibrating alarms so they get your attention, or whatever. It's remember your energy because it is bringing big things into your life in one way or another. Under the surface here, yeah, you have the Wheel of Fortune. So the Destiny cards are turning here too, bringing in some important things that you had asked for. It's also a message that of the tune of for you, knowing whatever comes in, it's a power of choice. There's not judgment around it. You're going to learn through anything that comes your way. So everything that happens in our life is for us. It's the tune of for us. When the Wheel of Fortune comes in, though, it also says that our human recognizes what is for us. So sometimes our human is like, how is that for me? Because that feels like awful. Why would I want this? But this is realizing it goes from a place of feeling like life is happening to me, where we get into our victim experience that we do come here to experience what it feels like to have things. What if things would happen to us? Then I feel hopeless and powerless and oh my god and what, right? The damsel tied on the railroad tracks, right? But then there's also once we are done going, all right, I had enough of that. I'm stepping back into my power. Now I'm gonna, from a place of peace and power, I look at why did I want this to happen for me? What lesson is in here? What gift is in it for me? There's a change of energy. Again, we're talking about all the changes of energy, right? We also got the firm foundation, the Four of Wands. I'm sorry, Four of Pentacles energy coming in here. Four of Pentacles is about big lessons around our worth, which when we're taught to define ourselves by the outside world, which are, you know, um, the energies of, um, focusing on relationships, situations, or things that define us. That's when we feel unstable. That's when we feel out of control because what this person does or doesn't do, says or doesn't say, that if this person passes away, walks away, changes, that this means something about me. And so my worth feels unstable if I'm defining it by that. Also, situations, jobs, education, whatever status of things, situations we can get in, they're unstable. They're always changing. If I define myself by that, I feel unstable. And then things, our bodies, our bank accounts, our possessions, those things never stay the same either, right? Deteriorate, blow up, burn down, stolen, all that fun stuff. So that's unstable too. And so there's this energy, this realization that unstable out there, stable inward and upward here, the eternal, unconditional love of the higher realms, that defines who I am. I am priceless. Versus the Four of Pentacles, which is when I define myself by the outside world. That's retail price. I end up on the clearance rack, right? Yeah. And then the power of emotional choice here with spiritual union underneath. So again, there's all this coming back to that choice energy that I get to decide what I'm going to feel around things, right? This is always taking you here to the Six of Swords, this moving on and moving forward energy. I feel like all of this is bringing some awareness that, because this says that I'm letting go of some old ways of thinking, I'm grasping on and um, becoming aware of higher ways of thinking, that as this changes, then my beliefs change, my emotions change, my actions change, and then the outside world starts to change. It moves from a place of choppy waters to calmer waters. So I like this for you. Um, it is the time of new beginnings. The eclipse season is too. It's a huge thing of significant endings and significant new beginnings. So if you're looking at feeling this change and feeling of this starting of things, I feel like all that information can help you let go of some old ways and some old focuses and refocus your energy onto something there too. Let's see what your fortune cookie brings in here through the Trust Your Vibes deck. All right, there we go. Wow. Yeah. Definitely have a new adventure coming. It said, embrace your adventure, either by hot air balloon or by sea. By air or by sea, right? Card 23. It says, life is unpredictable right now. It may even feel a little unsafe. There is no danger. There is only the unknown. Meet the immediate conditions with a sense of adventure and enthusiasm, and embrace the unknown with confidence and positivity. Many new and unexpected doors of opportunity are about to open. Wow, there you go. To fully benefit from these blessings, be spontaneous and let go of control. Lean into the unfolding adventure. Life is about to get very exciting. Dive in. Wow. I love that for you, Valerie. So hopefully that resonates there for you. That's what they have for you, my dear. So many blessings to you. Thank you again for your donation. All right. And then Alice, thank you for your additional donation. Look, you got 257 even on this one. So thank you for your third donation and your little angel halo. So you'd love to have a message advice from any of your angels that step forward? Absolutely. Let me take a sip here. Very good, Valerie. Yay! Exciting. New adventure. All right. There we go. So Alice, let's step into here. I want to find out, who is this angel? Which angel stepping forward? Can you show us through a card, please? Okay, thank you. And then what message do you have for Alice? It's funny. I'm seeing, what is her name? From, I can't think of the movie. Pretty Woman. What is her name? She's a big star. How can I not remember her name? But all they showed me is her going woof 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 like this. So it's like they're cheering you on. It's an interesting energy. Julie Roberts, thank you. So yeah, and here we have it. Someone very powerful, very fiery energy here with the Ace of Wands. So this angel that's coming forward is a very fiery, elemental kind of energy, very divine, feminine, powerful energy. So I love that. Thank you. You guys are all my Alexa. Why do I need Alexa when I have such helpful helpers that will be like, what is that? And your eyes are like, boom, it's this. Thank you. So this is who's coming through. Let's see what message they're bringing in here for you. You do have 3 of Wands. Yeah, 3 of Wands, which says partnerships and alliances. And then you've got the 7, which is deception and envy here. I like this because there is this energy of, because the 7 of Swords is what of your own mindsets are deceiving you. And with new clarity, you can change direction that's come into your. So I really like, as I'm showing myself over here, this is your higher self. This is them helping you up, helping you through. And I like this because I feel like there's this energy of worth. And that makes sense with like Pretty Woman, how they don't think of themselves as anything, but by the end of the movie they kind of transform into who they really are on the inside, which is this amazing, confident person. And I like this change of mindset because this is about, you are worthy of our support, and if you ask us for anything, we're so willing, but we honor your free will. So besides working on the things that you asked us to work on before we came down here, um, we're more than ready and willing, to help. We're so excited to. Nothing's too small, nothing's too large. Ask, and we will help you. So being aware that you are worthy of all the assistance of the heavens, you have a large multitude of beings, thousands and thousands and thousands of beings that are watching your life and sending you love energy and doing things in the realms to help your experiences, and because out of love and you deserve it. There's no conditions anyway, it's unconditional. So they're like, you don't have to do anything to earn it, there's nothing you can do to lose it. This is yours for the asking, and I like that. Let's see what else they have here. Yeah, we got the Wheel of Fortune and Destiny, along with the solar plexus chakra. I love this. Solar plexus energy, it's the chakra that's really kind of it's like your relationship to yourself. Because, like, the root chakra is how we relate to tribe and groups. The sacral chakra, the orange one, is about our relationship one on one with the other, not others, but other. And then there's that energy of this solar plexus, which is our relationship to ourself and our capital S self. So I like this energy because it's like you're destined for amazing things, and that there's so many things with this Wheel of Fortune, that life happens for you, that they're watching your path, that everything teaches and you grow through everything. And so life does not happen to you with the Wheel of Fortune. It's the tune of for you. Everything is for you, is for your growth, for you to step in and realize your power. It's like they're showing me, like movies, the hero's journey. There's always a climax in the movies, usually, right? Where the person's downtrodden, they've got superpowers or this ability to do so much, and until something happens that awakens them, where they just have had enough and they step into their power. I feel like this is, the wheels are turning, where you're really entering this part of your life that, boom, you're really going to be stepping into your power. So I love that. Let's see what's below here too. Yep, Six of Swords. Here's the moving on, the letting go of old ways of thinking, old small t truths rooted in fear, limiting beliefs that have made you feel blinded and restricted and small, and connecting to higher awareness. Here's that Seven of Swords, my thoughts and beliefs that have made me feel small in the past and cheated me out of opportunities. There is this boom, right? That allows you to move from the choppy waters to the calmer waters, to move into this new place, this new awareness. So it's letting go of some old thoughts that are untrue. They served a purpose to keep you safe when you were younger, but you don't need that anymore. It's like, I like how they show me every once in a while baby gates at the top and the bottom of stairs. Those are great. They keep babies safe, but when they're not babies anymore, they end up becoming obstacles that can almost kill us, right? Adults tripping over the the baby gates, almost falling down the stairs, right? So it's time to remove the baby gates. We don't need those anymore because we're in more power, right? So I love this for you. Yeah, you got the devil card, the shaking and the rattling. This is the shaking of It's long held thoughts and beliefs and mindsets. Again, there's all this movement of these beliefs that we've had since we were very young that were given to us that we just took on as this must be true. But now we're questioning those, and your cage is being rattled with things in the outside world that show you going, wait a minute, because they will continue to show us what we want to see about ourselves till we see it and we realize, oh, other people will be a mirror reflecting back to me how I feel about myself. And that's one thing I realized through my 5 longest term relationships that I had was, how could I expect them to treat me any different than I felt about myself? Wow. It was like I still remember just realizing that as I was looking through some journals that rereading some stuff, and I'm like, I see a pattern. And then I'm like, oh, this is about what's in here. And it was just really realizing, wow, it's amazing transformational energy that's here. Bringing you to the Four of Cups. Self-love, realizing the love of the outside world would never fulfill you. It's usually it's the someone that there's 3 cups and they're sitting up against a tree, bored with the 3 cups of the outside world, relationships with humans, situations, and things, that we learn out there, and that they're empty, they're not fulfilling. But here, being offered to the side that's coming in is self-love. It's the Ace of Cups. It's the chalice, the Holy Grail, where we learn the love we're looking for is in here, not out there. Big transformational energy that's coming in here for you. And I feel like they're saying, yep, and I'm on the case. I'm assigned to that case of your journey of stepping into your power. And they're like, this is where we're leading you. And though there's some conflicts that you'll experience in the outside world, you can cuss at me all you want, they say. There's something that she says to her friend in Pretty Woman, something about look after you, or whatever they say. You might want to go watch that, because it's like she says it to her friend that she lives with, you know because they got each other's back, and that's what they're wanting to say, is that they have your back, and that they will um, get you to where you have wanted them to take you. So they're leading the way. Well, this was the with that Ace of Wands energy, it's fiery energy, fire elemental. So it does feel, especially with the solar plexus chakra coming in, I feel like it's a lot of yellow, but also I feel red and orange, because I feel like the 3 lower chakras, that they roll over all 3, but they sit in your solar plexus, your seat of power, energy there. I do feel like it's your fire elemental, as well. And I I need to take notes on this computer. It's on my computer over here. I have a playlist. I did a 6 series video series this year, with the elementals, and I dedicated each month to the 5 elements of earth, air, fire, and water, and then the ethereal, which is our guardian angel, and then a 6th one bringing everything together. So it's the playlist should be out there. What I'll do after I'm done here as well, Alice, I will put here, let me make a little note here. I'm going to put elemental video. I will grab that, and once I find that, I got to find one other video as well for Johanna, the aura video. I'll put those in the pinned comment, so if you want to check it out, you can look at the fire elemental one and see how you can connect with your fire elemental spirit guide, because I feel like that's who it is. They rule over our energy, our spiritual adventure, and really stepping into our power too with all of that. So I like that. We do have 4 elemental spirit guides that rule over those 4 areas. And then our guardian angel, which rules over our entire ethereal experience too. But I feel like this is the one that's in charge of that because they're very fiery. So I like it. So it'll be just a moment here. I'm actually hitting my 3-hour mark, so I won't get to any free readings in this session this evening. I might try something this weekend where the last half hour, if I don't get to any free readings, I will try to do as many free readings as I can in 30 minutes. I had intended to start that tonight, but totally spaced it. So I'm so sorry. But tomorrow, I will maybe try that in my morning session, like my Saturday and Sunday session. Well, Sunday I always come back on to finish them anyway, but I'll get that. I'll put that out there, so that'll be here out in just a moment. I'll probably post it without them on there first, and then I'll get on this computer and jump into the note that I posted and put the 2 links. So you'll see it. You'll see the little pinned comment up here first, and then if you refresh, you'll see the link there here momentarily. All right. Does that make sense? They'll be there eventually. You are very welcome. Thank you guys again so much for all your patience and getting readings. And I apologize to all of you that were waiting for free readings. I'm not able to get to any of those tonight, but I'll be back tomorrow from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Tomorrow night from 6 to 9 p.m. And then also Sunday, of course, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Mountain Time. Sundays, I always come back on to finish out all readings from whatever I didn't complete in the morning. So we'll definitely do that. But I'm going to try that tomorrow to do the last 30 minutes. If I don't get to any free readings before that, I will try to reserve that to at least get to some free readings in each session. I'm trying to figure out a way, but I feel like that might be a good thing to try. So there you go. Blah, blah, blah. All right, everybody. Well, I am off. Thank you again so much for all your love and all your support. And remember, as you're going through your adventure every second of every day of your life, you are eternally and unconditionally loved by the Mother and the Father of all things, our Creator. And of course, I love you too. So until I see you guys again, have an amazing evening. Enjoy this wonderful eclipse energy and dreaming time. And until I see you again, remember, have some fun. Why are we being so serious, right? Joy, joy, joy. Have as much fun as you can. It is a playground, right? So I love you guys. We'll see you soon.